Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack on this Sunday afternoon. I am Jack Talcott here, filled with faith, man, filled with joy, filled with fun. You guys, gals, the people here, and those people who are with me, holy cows, loved the thumbnail myself. What was it? Misery loves company, but you do not have to accept that invitation. Brothers and sisters, that is what I have come to know, come to realize. And please, thank you. What's up, Cynthia? Always sharing encouragement. Sincerely, I admire you. And please share the likes for those who are here today. Yes, please give it up for that. Now, this is something that caught my eye. Full Moon Talcott. I know it is that time. Locked into the full moon. It's incredible. I'm curious. I'm hoping to understand more. And I am coming in full strength today, man. This life. Greetings, Chuck in Tennessee. Blessings. I am grateful to see you again, my friend. Golly geez, sometimes this life can really bring some interesting. You know what? Life is amazing. That's simple as that. That is where my mind is set at. I'm fixed with that mindset these days. Life is amazing. It's just miraculous. It really does bring peace when we fill ourselves with gratitude. And, like the shirt says, I choose love. Shirt was designed by a guy I met somewhere along this adventure. Emery, I pray you and your family are doing well. Should you see this? Anyway. Oh, here. There was an ask to see it. It says, I choose love. I am. And then on the sides, it's got hold on tightly, let go lightly. And that brought some thoughts to mind earlier. So thank you for bringing that up, Jesse. On those relationships you've got, fucking hold on tight. Because one day it can be gone. But when that day happens, when life brings a change or a separation in your relationship, even in your relationships, your unhealthy relationships, when it's time to let them go, don't do so bitterly. Don't do so angrily. Let it go lightly. Let it go loosely. Let you go loosely, right? With peace, with love, with gratitude. Because it does feel good just to be. And that really is the purpose and the meaning that I found for myself. The belief that it sounds so simple, sounds so obvious, and it is, yet there's levels to it. We are here just to be yourself. That's what I've been learning to do, is just to be myself comfortably, with the goal, the desire to become the best version of myself that I can. And you know what I've been learning, guys? fucking easier than it sounds. Wait, that doesn't sound right. It's we just got to surrender ourselves. Get out of the way. Get out of the way of the loving will, the power of that moves us. It's the state of flow of Zen, as I understand some of the Buddhic philosophy. It's the state of, as I understand, there's levels to these things as I'm finding for myself. The idea of samadhi, of nirvana, as an actual state of being for a human being to live in a presence of peace, of love. And that's actually who we are and what we are. I'm growing in this. I'm growing in comfort, right, in saying these things, because this is what I've been practicing. Today this morning I got up, went to the local church, and it was another beautiful reminder, not just for me, but maybe for me to share. The topic he talked about was unforgiveness. Whatever he was talking about, the word unforgiveness stood out in my mind. And we can live with forgiveness or unforgiveness. Those choices are ours to make. But golly jeez. Hey, before I'll come back to this, I appreciate the attention. Allow some of these characters to reveal themselves in the chats. Okay. There's a lot of emotions and stuff that's being raised. And so as long as things don't get too bad, Margot Davy, you know you're going to go down in history betting against me like this. It's amazing. It's fascinating. I've tried so many times to help you understand that you're wrong. But keep on betting against me, lady. Feel free. Praise God. Because today, the topic, just let's use some logic and reasoning to objectively consider some perspectives on emotion. All right, let's talk about emotions, just using what makes sense. Thank you, Harpole. Praise be. And you tell me you're right. We go through our lives, and this world, it has conditioned us in what I call the materialist mindset, believing only in the physical realm. And along the way, many of us have lost sight of the spiritual nature of life, right? What it means to be one with God, one with the Creator. How about being one with the creation, as you trust the creation is completely within the control of God, right? Things will happen in our lives every day. Things happen, and we get to learn, and we get to discern, judge, form opinions. But our opinions, especially those opinions that get us all riled up, are painful. Those people who hurt us, those people who betrayed us, who lied to us, those people who physically caused us pain or harm. We can think about those things every day and just cling on to them. The anger, the resentment. But guess what that does? Creates a bond. We create a bond between us, ourselves, and those people we hate. Those people we just judge and, oh, I just can't stand that they exist. Well, guess what? That bond, that attention, that mind space that's occupied by your judgment, it'll block out all the other good things. And you miss out on the good things within the one that you judge. And brothers and sisters, there's a lot of scriptures. The Bible can be twisted, and you takes one thing out of context over here and another out of context over here. Holy cows, you got another crazy story or different meanings. But there's power in the logic. Don't judge. Recognize the limits of your ignorance, right? And even if you discern a problem, even if you discern something is wrong, that, identifying that doesn't, change the facts. It shouldn't change how you behave. The idea of forgiveness, it's like putting down a weight. Letting go. Oh my God, letting go, dude. That one was what worked for me. See, I'd gone through acceptance and forgiveness mentally, conceptually, but in my spirit, I'd been carrying years of regret. Man, that regret, that judgment of myself is what it was. God, that held me back. So finding forgiveness, it really is. It's releasing yourself from the bond, from the burden of the judgment that you chose to carry. And at some point in our lives, for each of us to feel better, we're going to need to do some unbinding from things that don't really matter or things that don't really serve us today. Because we're all living this amazing life, this adventure called life with each other. Every one of us, human beings, including the families in Gaza and Ukraine. Hey, I'm going to change the topic. Back to more fun. Okay. So I was reviewing yesterday's stream again, and you caught some of the comments, and I'm like, holy cows, you guys are hilarious. However, I recognize the truth in some of the things. There was a comment made that Jack's a backbiter, getting pissed at his strongest supporters. Regarding HMFICO Steve and Chuck in Tennessee, I'm assuming I'm including for sure. But yeah, I've had a bad habit of that. I'm still sometimes a little rough around the edges, and I snarl at the people who are trying to be kind to me. But I'm not a backbiter, man. I don't accept that claim. And then there was another question, though. There was another question. Why would I get a membership to this mayhem? And I thought, you know what? That's a valid question too. So for those who are questioning, why should I be supportive of this, engaged with this? For those who wonder, I just ask that you trust it's going to improve, because I know what's within me. I'm still learning what I am capable of. I think we all are. And that's my purpose. My purpose is to serve the world. And today, by divine design, your choices and mine, we are together in this some sort of fashion. And so what I hope to offer today is some love, some reminders perhaps. We all need these reminders. I know this from experience. We all need little reminders at different points of our life that it's okay, right? You're doing good. Even if it doesn't feel that way, even if it doesn't look that way, trust. Trust that greater things are in store. And we've got our first guest. Welcome, brothers and sisters.
Hello.
Tommy, forgive me. How you doing, brother?
Notice the picture. This is typical Umatami.
It is beautiful.
Well,
May I?
you just saw me in a place where I was in Tetsuo mode.
You were in which mode?
The picture in that thumbnail of the live you visited me on, that's Tetsuo from Akira. He gains ultimate power and loses control of himself. And I was using that to show how I was going to throw down on those boys had they showed up.
I get it. I get it more clearly now. Hey,
Oh, it's
sorry to
always
do
a
this.
question away.
Hold on. Sorry. Let me, sorry to do this, but I wanted to come back. I've seen a couple of comments on this, on the shirt. Blessings. Thank you. What I will do, um, I'll try to find that guy's website again. I think it's just B, but I'll find it and I'll leave a link to it in the description for those who are interested. Please check back perhaps by tomorrow afternoon.
And
Sorry.
Jack,
Welcome,
that's
Tom.
great because I'm always looking for it just to have some fun with you, no hate. But there was this time that you were snazzy dressed. I can't remember if it was your panel or where, and people pointed it out, and you asked the panel, you were like dead serious. You were like, "Well, will the plebs not like me if I dress too well or some shit like that?" And they were like, "No, no, Jack." But it was just so funny the way you asked. It was you looked like you had been kept in a mansion of pleasure all your life and didn't understand humans as you asked this question. It was it was downright hilarious.
Thank
But
you,
if you
Tom.
remember what I was saying about your wrenches, we're seeing it right here. Like Yolanda's a good wrench, I think. Arpol is probably a good wrench. But you see, you tell me he has no idea the subject that he's jumping in on hating on me about. Sterling has been straightened out on it and refuses the truth. These people are the problem with the foundation I'm trying to correct for themselves. And I'm here to talk about that openly because it'll go into your subject matter of why Paul's such a hater.
No,
No,
no.
I saw the subject. Do you know why he hates on you? Do you know why he abandoned OTW?
Did he
Because you guys are
abandon?
starting to get yours. Like, what was it, chat? I don't think it was 2 or 3 days ago. Paul supported and handed things over to OTW, and super chats started rolling in for OTW. Super chats that didn't go to Paul, and he went and shut that down real quick. Now, Jack, I won't deny that probably both of us have the current viewers we have from coming from that war zone, but it was a war zone, and it still is. And I'll let people say I got my name out there through fighting it, but I won't say he's the basis of my content or how I am who I am in any way, and not you either. I just know we both got our start from having odds with that cult. And my beef I take up with you is your constant need to try and reassemble. And I'm like, no, fuck them.
You're
And
starting
then,
to.
And then I have the alternate problem where he says he's not going to go anywhere and start beef. I was on my typical Machine Lies last night to talk about the religions and the philosophies, and he shows up and trolls it.
Did he? Anyway, hey, I understand the behavior, and it's an interesting experience that we're sharing. We're here to learn from each other, to share our lessons with each other.
And like you said, Jack, you need reminded sometimes. We must loop back and be like, Jack, don't forget though. Because I say this with no ego, Jack. Never have, never will. I was a YouTube fan enthralled in YouTube before panels happened. And so when I came down that tower to these panels, I'm like, if this applies to the YouTube, this will be like this, that'll be like that. And here we are. It's playing out every day. Coco Murio, I didn't post anything.
Hey, hold on. I'm not sure what you were just talking about, but you did remind me. Shit, where'd it go? It was
Stop, Camacho. Stop. My dog just ate an orange rind. Is that bad?
I don't know.
I don't think it's bad.
I honestly
it's on the ground. It's probably food.
Hey, how about this? What I was considering earlier is the paradox of our ego, right?
It isn't a paradox.
Let me explain it a little more. Okay, we create our own confusion within us because the ego overlooks perfection.
Now, hold on. Do you want to make progress, Jack? Because you're starting a denial thing that I'm trying to break with the chat community. The ego is not a bad thing. The ego says that's Jack's channel. This is Tom's channel. That's Paul's channel. That's ego, Jack.
Tom, don't defend what you don't understand, because I'm not going to paint it as a bad thing. You're right.
So would you like to cover this thing that your chat won't let up on while we're sitting here talking? You want to make progress, Jack? You want to help this community?
Tell you what, I am here to serve. What can I do?
On my very own stream that you were at, I was telling your wrench, Sterling Ray, hey, if you're uninvolved but feel a way about a thing, come on up to this link. Let's talk about it like you and I are doing now. And she's down there just holding her narrative strong. I'm going to go to London's community thread right now to see if this thing is posted. Because if not, no, kept it quotation correct. It's also posted on mine. It's handled. It's dealt with. Glad to see Flow State. I'm looking into his issue as well.
What is the point? What are we doing?
I'm trying to free up this tension that doesn't need to be here.
Did you create the tension?
No, but confusion of the ego. Confusion of London's ego created the tension, and then the followers that have gotten behind him, who are also some in your wrench crew, are maintaining it from channel to channel.
Tom, join me here, okay?
I'm catching you up, and you're acting like I'm doing a thing by trying to help you catch up.
Tom.
Hello, Floasty.
All of this tension and stuff that you want me to receive?
Oh, see, that's narrative.
See, and what I just did, I was going to forewarn you, Tommy. I'm sorry that I didn't forewarn you. I was going to forewarn you.
Shut the fuck up. You just backstaged me when you said you want to resolve conflicts. You're not hearing what I'm saying, faggot. Do you want to resolve conflicts?
You were not saying things relevant to me.
I wasn't saying what you wanted to hear me say, which is Jack is God. All praise Jack. You're a product of your daddy.
All right. Well, okay. I understand why you can say that, but
You're
Tom,
using
you
therapy
just
session jargon. Spare me.
Tom.
I understand
Well,
why you're
Let's
a
all
pussy ass
praise
bitch.
God for a second. Can we all take a praise God?
Finally, I thought you were
praise
muted.
God.
Jesus.
Thank you, Flo. Thank you, Flo.
That feels good.
It does. Just relax into the present.
Oh, I was relaxed until you started your Jack Talcott bullshit.
I know. Well, stop judging me as offering Jack
I judge
Talcott.
lots of people, don't you? Your family judged you when they decided to leave and not look back. They didn't turn into pillars
Right.
of salt, did they?
Well, Tom, you're right. They did
London
make
does not have my community post. He didn't post my chat on his community. And if he said it in his live stream, he can kick rocks with that bullshit.
I'm about to take a break from you.
No, I am.
Oosha.
Now let me,
So,
okay,
how
just
you
make
doing,
this big
Jack?
stance, Jack. Let me see why I'm wasting my time. Go ahead.
Tom,
Yeah, you don't like having to show receipts or show that you don't know what you're talking about.
Tom, you gave me just a moment, and it just, I'm sorry I couldn't prepare
You're
my
still in it.
thoughts quick enough.
Take it.
but
Take the
here-
moment.
Here, the topic I want to discuss, and brother, unforgiveness, right? That's where we're feeling all these tensions, is from our bond to that feeling, that judgment. Well, guess
Nope.
what?
You're not describing what my tension is coming from.
Give it up. Let it go.
My tension is being from misrepresentation of me. And I
Tom.
can show the receipts of Z, London, and I forget who else,
Tom,
sitting there saying
you're
I'm
well
currently a
into now.
drug addict.
Tom, join us in the present. Here together, me and Flo. Tommy just left.
Well, if he's still listening, it makes it way easier to not be misrepresented when you can represent yourself. And you can represent yourself a lot more places if you don't call them F words and, things like that. So, I mean, it's just like having some normal manners is just a matter of pragmatism.
But it is developed with time. Well,
He's 43.
He's old enough. Yes. It's funny you said that though, Flo, because I truly believe that I could have easily represented myself with my employer much better than the ass hats that were given that position. and you're right though.
So
Tommy,
about the burden of unforgiveness.
well, Tom, yes, amen. And I have. And Tommy, you're back. However, recognize that right here and now, there is peace. Okay? Welcome to the peace.
Did you
that's
portray
being
it like I
offered.
rage quit or something?
No. Well, I just said you
You
left.
just said you left.
Right. And it just so happened that during your backstage mod god chip off your old dad, I just happened to have a technical foul that made it look like that.
Okay. Hey, great.
But that
I'm
picture
glad
is
you're
very
here.
much changed because I see where you're going. You're going to make a fool of yourself, but I'm going to give you your show. Say your thing, and when I explain to you the situation, you'll be shown to be the jackass.
What
that you
situation
are.
are we even talking about?
Well,
I
Jack
think
wants
here,
to-
Tom, let me see. Is this the London thing?
Yes.
Okay. So as I understand it,
Oh, yeah.
London took
It sounds,
a
I don't know much
comment.
about it, but it seems like there was just a misunderstanding.
That's all
That's
it was.
my-
And it's the chat
that's what I believe.
foundation that is making it a thing.
Okay. Can you allow it to not be a thing?
No, because they will
That you
follow. They
can.
are the foundation. So every panel I go to, as Sterling has proven herself, she's going to show up and start talking that shit.
Did either of you guys see Paul shut down last night on TML?
No, I showed back up because I left once he got into it with that Reverend or whatever the guy is. And I was like, he definitely ruined this. I'll come back later. And when I came back, they didn't tell me what happened. But I only came back because Paul was gone at that point.
You glitched out.
No. Oh, I only came back because Paul was gone whenever I came back. And Jack, I'm going to let you talk, but I need to establish right now, because he doesn't seem to get it. You tell me is absolutely irrelevant in this community. He stayed here because you're the only one that granted him his desired wrench, but every showing he makes, he's still a fat, nothing yokel saying some dumb shit.
Tom, okay. Thank you for sharing that perspective. I'll take it under consideration.
Oh, you can do what you want. I'm just saying that is the isness of you tell me.
Okay. Well, we are all growing and learning, each of us,
Not
every
all of us.
single one of us, except the ones who refuse to learn, who refuse to accept. Hey, let me touch on this, because this is what I received from the sermon earlier today, as a reminder that in life, sometimes we are placed in positions where the people who have hurt us, where we can help them, we're in the best position to help them. And often it's the other way as well. I think God brings us these challenges, right? We end up with these different experiences, different perspectives, and then there's misunderstandings. But when I've experienced this myself, many of my lifelong friends started out as like enemies, someone we wanted to fight. So I've experienced that myself in many different ways. And so please, there are so many reasons for everyone to find forgiveness, find love, find the lesson, find reasons to be grateful.
Jack, I can't, you can do your show, but I personally can't sit through this. I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I hate this in general. Let's talk about the weather bullshit. Now, can you please share You Tell Me's last chat about if I'm on something about his kids? I don't even want to know. He is lost. I have said nothing about London's child, and that's where you're all fucked in the head.
Well, Tommy, you made yourself clear on your stream. I think that it's like there's nothing really else to resolve
and I'm looking into why you were not
until London addresses it, right?
No, he addressed it. No, he addressed it without me before I made the stream. That's how he's on his own BS. He's never had a closed door from me. He had my email. He knows my channels. He sees my comment section. He's running from me and keeping people on his narrative. This is a Paul strategy. This is a poly-soy strategy.
How is that relevant to here?
I thought the great Jack Talcott could assist, since half of his wrenches are my problem.
Okay, no.
But you want to make it your rinky-dink general. Listen, in life,
I'm not going to
do things, and those things grant repercussions.
How long do I
can talk about those things?
I don't know. I really want Tommy to be in this conversation and not get backstage.
All I'm asking is,
making it really hard.
Making it hard, and I'm not sure which direction he's saying it in. And can we invite him up? Me and RT are cool, but RT suffers from the Jack Talcott of say too much, droning on, and we can quell that with RT. He's one of the good ones. It was London Man who gave me the Hitler vibe, deeply slaved. I am the Nazi Hitler. No hard R.
Okay, but he made a stream, you made a stream, and now there's nothing left to do with it until he responds, right?
No.
Right.
No.
So let's just chill out.
See, I got two guys that don't know, not wanting to let me inform them and just play word games with it. This is why I hate this community. It's why I'm
Tom, I want you to,
enemy number one.
Tom, I want you to sincerely consider this. All of this is your fucking problem, not mine.
No, it's not your problem, but I'm your problem.
You're my problem.
You treat me like this right now after all the shit you've said about the love and the solving conflict. If this isn't gonna, if this is what I'm gonna get, I'll be your problem too.
That's what you're demonstrating. I'm asking you, please.
Yeah, I'm being open
Tommy,
door to solve
is it-
problems, and you got a problem with that.
Tommy,
and I'm
what
even
is it that
bringing it
still
to
needs to be
you.
done?
I'm bringing it to you, Jack Talcott, and look how you're handling it.
What do you want done?
The truth.
Fuck, oh dear. Luck, oh
Fuck,
dear.
oh dear.
Luck, oh dear.
Why
No, I
is
think it's
wanting the
worthy of a
truth
fuck.
what gets you all fuck oh dear about it? You got a demon in you. I bet you Aaron put it there. Did you know, Flow State, that a demon can work more than one person at the same time?
Are you saying that Aaron and Jack are sharing demons?
No, but I am saying that that female preacher from Hawaii is the trans form of Aaron, who is a transhumanist demon.
I don't really know Aaron.
That's good. You have salvation that you can acquire.
I've really never heard anything good about him.
Listen, he says he carries himself as a nice guy.
He's not here. Who cares, Tommy? Flo and I and you are here. What does any of this resolve?
I was actually trying to say something good about
Aaron are
and
cool.
I think the reason you're angry is because Aaron isn't here. Now you tell me.
Dude, he's not a part of my life. Tommy, he is not a part of my life. And if you don't change your behavior, you're not going to be either.
Oh, no, it's your behavior that makes me a pain in your ass.
Your opinion.
You're just like Paul. You're just like Paul. If you were what you say you are, you wouldn't be the way you are.
Hey.
Well, don't laugh, Flow State. Did you see the difference between what they say and be?
This is not the Tommy show, so I'm going to interrupt for just a moment. I saw part of London's stream. I empathized and I felt understanding. I didn't necessarily agree with everything he did, nor that was shared by Tommy. Tommy doesn't accept responsibility. He just wants to continue this nonsense, and here we are.
That's some fucking bullshit right there. Accept responsibility is all I've fucking done. All I've shown that you and that Pauly boy don't do. Now, whatever the fuck he said on his stream could have been said to this fucking face. And the reason he doesn't is because he's wrong. Now, what's the chat that you said you were oblivious to the story? Oh, Jack, you're oblivious to the thing you just said you heard his whole report on. So tell me about London's bullshit stream. Faggot. Faggot fucking liar.
It's irrelevant to me, Tommy. London stream is not relevant to me. It's relevant to you. Now, I could, should you want to change, Tom, I could help you change the way you feel. But you're convicted in your insulting, disrespectful opinions of me, Tommy. Yeah, sitting there flipping. He's in the back flipping me off. So tell you what, let's move on. Welcome, Yolanda.
Hey, Jack, how's it going?
I'm feeling
I came up to help you out, man, with the peace and the tranquility and maybe a little bit of, change in frequency. I've been watching Tommy be upset for a little while over this, and so I wanted to help him calm down.
Do you think you might be able to help? I'd love to help him.
Yeah, I'm willing, because I feel really bad that this situation is going on. This is pretty fucked up.
Understand.
You know Tommy's serious when he's cammed up with no filter.
Right. No, you're good, Tommy. I hear what you're trying to say, buddy. I see how you're trying to mend it your way.
Let me make this clear.
Here, hold, Tom. Let me turn you back up before you get going too long. Okay.
I'm listening, Tommy.
I'm not talking.
Please, please speak.
I'm trying not to make an all-out campaign against this jackass as we speak. Like the fact that the community doesn't see you've carried yourself as Mr. Brothers and Sisters, and look at how you can't even be told a thing and lie that you don't know what I'm talking about. You're a fraud.
Please be specific and let's discuss your claim.
Oh, now you want to talk about my thing. Is that right? Is that right?
Your claim against me.
Oh, let's keep it about you, you mean?
Okay, Tom, please.
Jack, please.
Tommy.
I want there to be peace.
Yolanda, what went down on London's stream?
Welcome, Steve.
I think we all know exactly what happened on
I didn't
London's
watch
stream.
it. I'm not going to, because I see, and now I can use this. The fact that everyone's coming at me about his portrayal, I don't want to see it. That'll only cloud the truth. Because the truth is very simple, and everyone is running from it. Let's cloud as much of the situation as we can.
Here, this whoop. Oh, wait. What am I showing?
No, we need to bring up my chat from the show he's mad about. I don't know that he's sharing the exact chat.
This is what I saw on London's stream. Your comment.
Oh, hold on, I need my screen to catch up. Okay, that looks like my chat. Let me give it a second for the chat. This active chat. Yeah, that is what I was saying. I said, if he can get mad about people talking about his kids, who he displayed, why can't I be mad about people saying I'm a PDF? Because that's what that was about. He was laughing it up at Snafu, telling everybody, oh, I love Snafu. He's got it, man. He's good. And it was about him calling me a PDF. And now I said, well, if he said I PDF'd your kids, would you be mad? And he's running with that like I said I'm going to PDF his kids. I'm not going to PDF any kids. I'm going to delete Snafu if he ever shows up for saying that. Now, if anybody's got any more to cloud that simple, honest God fact with, let's hear it. And if anybody's been portraying that clouded non-truth, I think you're my enemy in this community. You tell me, Sterling Ray, might as well go get all enslaved on it.
Can I respond
and
to
yes,
that?
Flow State, when I show up with no filters, this pissed off, I'm fucking serious. And I don't know why you can't chat. I'm looking into it.
Yield, okay? Allow some response. Not from me. Please, Yolanda. And welcome.
Thank you, Jack.
Welcome to you guys.
Hermano, cálmate, okay? I see, I see what's going on. I see where you're coming from. But the rest of the community, which is your chat community, bro, okay? We follow you fuckers around everywhere, so we see what's going on, okay? Not all of us are going to understand the streets, lingo, fuck bullshit that you guys all going on, you know, and everyone's not at that same level. So they don't
isn't about any level.
This
is at the core. This is the most simple core level. I didn't say what he's portraying. I said, but he's going to grip onto that. And so is half of this chat. And you're all.
Exactly. Because when I read it, when I saw him put it on screen, I was like, that is some fucked up shit.
What do you think it said? I don't get why you
guys all pull family members, spouses, children, all that shit.
No, I didn't say anything about his kids. See, I'm not sure you have the reading comprehension, Yolanda.
Tom, the comment shown includes his kids. It's
Jack, your kid.
Daughter.
Let's read it then. Bring it up. Let me bring it up. Let's read it. London, take your daughter issue. Take your daughter issue, as in the issue he has with his daughter being talked about. Pretend for a year someone said I was effing daughters. Does it say you're effing your daughters? Give me some cry laugh emojis about it. That was me saying, why are you boosting Snafu for saying I diddle kids? Now, why do I need to explain this to a bunch of enlightened, truthy adults?
Okay, please.
You just looked stupid on your own goddamn show, Jack, and my rage is justified. Yolanda, as illiterate as ever. Now, what do you motherfuckers want to do?
Hey,
no,
Tom.
I'm glad you read it, Tommy. I'm glad you read it.
I'm glad you read it and took some fucked up meaning from it, you dumb bitch.
Okay.
Tom, I'm going to please mute you for a moment. Okay. Let you calm down.
I don't think there's any more to it than what I just said.
Okay. Well, then you can continue your rage and unresolve, or praise God. That's actually a perfect segue to one of the points I wanted to make, but
I was about to agree with him.
he just left.
I think you're doing a good job, though, Jack, on bringing it up and letting him come up and do his side in his version, because we know London's watching too. So regardless of how anybody feels about it, it's been discussed, and you did try peace in the war in the community. Salutes to you.
Some of the comments from people. This life experience we're living here. Let me get to a point. Unless you, Jesse, welcome, brother Chuck, HMFIC of Steve and Thomas. Good to see you all. What I was trying to get across with Tommy before he started defending the ego is that the ego creates a paradox within us. We as people, we overlook perfection because we're always searching for flaws. We're looking for danger, looking for inconsistencies. So we will overlook perfection. And yet, what do? We're always seeking closure. We're always seeking completion. We're always seeking the truth and answers. Those are perfection. Those bring completeness, and the completeness is wholeness. Wholeness is perfect. To me, this makes simple sense that if you can convince your ego, rather than allowing the ego to be a problem and always, trying to create perfection, if you can just allow the ego to surrender to the perfection that evolves, that emerges, that comes forth. This is what I've been practicing, honestly, trying to accomplish better in different ways. How to find wholeness without closure. See, in the idea that we're not complete until we until we have a relationship, until we have the finances, until we have the job, until we have the subscribers, whatever. When we've got all of this egoic lack, not good enough and not enough mindset, we keep ourselves in a self-created state of anxiety and unrest. And guys, we're here to just receive life, all that it brings. And it can start, everything can change with a choice and with a decision. That's what I've learned. London, thoughts?
Mic check.
It was
clear.
Salutes,
Yeah.
London. Salute.
Welcome, brother.
How we doing? Hey, wow. Listen, I ain't got no words for what's his name, Tommy. I ain't got no words for him. I've seen what I've seen. It seems like he's in his feelers because I was laughing with Snafu Snaps about something, right? Because I was laughing with Snafu Snaps. This sounds very familiar. I think I've been laughing with Snafu Snaps before about something, and he got in his feelings, and he said, "I'm laughing with one of his pedophile accusers." Right? This is why he probably tried to, say something below the belt, and now trying to justify it by saying, "I was laughing with Snafu Snaps about saying something about him." Listen, if that's how he's coming, I ain't got time for Tommy. You understand? He's got to throw Snafu Snaps in the middle of it now because he's in his feelings. Because he can't really rebuttal that. You understand? So I hope he's listening, and salutes to Snafu Snaps. Snafu Snaps, you're funny as fuck, bro. Tommy, you're a pedophile. Stay away from me.
Chad.
I tell it how it is. Sorry
Well-
about that, Jack. Sorry about that, Jack. Sorry about
London,
that, Jack.
don't you think that I mean, he wasn't actually talking about your daughter in that chat or comment. It doesn't sound like he was referencing it or making a reference point, right?
Yes.
Also, what evidence do you have to say that he's a pedophile? You know something firsthand?
I'm going with my instincts. I'm going with my instincts on this one.
Well,
All right. So my instincts say you're a motherfucking murderer, fucking
Yeah.
pedophile.
Yeah,
You
boom,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
That
I'm all
doesn't
of
mean
that,
I'm
bro.
right.
Yeah, I'm all of that. I'm all of that. Anyway, Jack, like I said, much love, Jack.
London,
Yo.
brother, please, I encourage you to do as you feel right, okay? However, please trust these feelings and conflicts are often the result of misunderstandings. Things are taken out of context or given more weight than maybe a joke is. Who knows? Okay. A lot of things happen with misunderstandings. How we respond, that is on us. And I tell you what, forgiveness and compassion feel good. Feels good to actually offer mercy, to know that you can. So
Being
I
right
agree.
feels even better.
I agree, fucking Jack. But also, I mean, well, I guess what I'm getting at is that London seems as though he has no evidence to back it, but he loves standing by that, and it's fucking weird. Because I could say the same shit about half the people I've seen online about accusations, but certain people stand on an accusation when they have no firsthand experience, much less like secondhand experience. So it's fucking weird. Shows character.
We call them repeaters. They're just repeating shit they have know nothing about.
well, yeah, the thing is with this world we live in, accusations can destroy someone's life. Hello. That's part of my my story, and my life lessons were pretty painless. But I do believe that, I'm telling you guys, please consider the facts.
Jack, people
God is
destroy their
with
own lives, Jack. Sorry to cut you, Jack.
Go
Sorry
ahead.
to cut
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead.
People
Man.
destroy their own lives, right?
Yeah.
They clearly show you they don't want no help. They're clearly going in one direction, and it shows. It shows. So we don't really destroy people. They destroy themselves. We might give them a helping hand because that's the way they want to go, but I don't know.
Hey, brother, you're you're absolutely right. The reminder I received at church today was that scripture. Jesus was asked, Yeshua was asked, how many times are we supposed to forgive? 7? And no, 70 times 7. We forgive
490.
Forgiveness is no longer needed. We don't need to.
490, and then we're done.
No, that's the point. We're not supposed to keep track. We're not supposed to keep score.
He needed to use a bigger number then. We're smarter than that.
No, it's not. The point is that, like, you think it's fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it's over. No, multiply that times 100. It ain't over. Point being, you'll never get to 500 times you got to forgive someone. So point being, keep trying.
No, 500 times in total for all forgivenesses.
No, also an incorrect fucking assumption. It's the point is.
I'm just reading it how it's written.
Right, and the people that take the word of the fucking Bible as literal, black and white, are the retards of the world.
Oh, okay? How? I guess you're the one that knows how to interpret it correctly.
No, it's all parables.
So when he said 7 times 70, what he meant is
if you take it
an
as black
unlimited
and white,
number of times.
You show how limited your soul is. Flow state, more like a motherfucking.
Hey,
sorry, I should stop.
Thomas, the supreme authority on the Bible, not God who wrote it how it is.
Yeah, God wrote the Bible. You're smart.
I actually don't even believe what I was saying. It was tongue in cheek, but you dumbass took it literally.
And I could care less what you believe. I'm just
Oh, you
talking
obviously
on the
did care what I
concept.
believed.
What
You felt obligated to say something.
is going on?
Full moon yesterday.
Oh, it is. That's right. And even though we didn't get it in North America, it's there was an eclipse too. I heard.
I was about to say we sure did get a full
Hey,
moon.
Jack, let me put it this way, right? You
Yes,
see how you remember the other day when I was saying to you, some of your associates keep people wanting to join with you, right?
Yes, sir.
We're in that same ship with Illuma Tommy. You know how many people want to stay away from me because Illuma Tommy is around. So for
And
me,
you did. Oops, sorry.
you know, go on,
If
go on.
your
You got it,
biggest
you got it.
problem is Illumitami, you need to fucking figure life out.
Well, no.
Hey, who is this clown, Jack? Jack. Hey, Jack, who
Actually,
is this clown? Who
He
is this clown,
he's-
Jack?
He's one of Paul's buddies.
Oh, it makes sense now. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's.
Cool. Makes sense. It makes sense.
I haven't seen Thomas for a while, but he's actually being more tame and probably more respectful than I've seen before. So it's the full moon energies. Everyone's where we are supposed to be. Okay. And London, I get what you're saying. I've seen you offer kindness and respect for Tommy, even if I remember, invited him warmly, defended him.
There you
And
go.
so I do understand what you mean of enough's enough. If you're feeling personally challenged or attacked by him, and you're getting feedback from others reinforcing, hey, it's time to walk away. I get it. I'm trying to practice, and like I said, I was reminded myself this morning that 7 times 70, and the reality is the people that trigger us, that really offend us, there's a reason. There is a reason.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to come up and address. There's no need for me and Tommy to interact, right? He does his thing, I do my thing. He can stay over there, I stay over here, right? Cool, that's what I want to say. But much love, JT. Peace out.
I
Easy
agree,
flow.
other than the fact that thing isn't a word. Yes.
Whatever, dude.
Hey, these cult boys don't stop, do they? These cult boys don't stop. These cult boys. Look, we got another
pissy energy.
Weird energy. Look at this one at the bottom of the screen now. He's all the way fucked up.
This one's Tarek's all right. Tarek's all right. He's definitely culted, but he's
all the way creepy.
He's my favorite of the cult,
fucker.
I think.
He's a creepy fucker.
Too.
Hey, Jack, peace out, Jack. Flo, peace.
Later.
Yolanda, much love.
Blessings,
Much
brother,
love.
and thank you. Golly jeez. Welcome, Tarek. I trust what I saw in the chat. Blessings. Thank you. And let me recognize, thank you for your past contributions. You are a generous man, and
no, I just never pay to pick somebody off the panel or whatever. But I actually contribute to keep you on the panel so you can voice your opinion. But Steve, whatever, it's his thing. It's okay. Maybe he'll learn one day to be humble and not be the way he is. But that's him and that's me. If you got something to say to me, if you disagree with me, no big deal. We'll talk about it and let it go. If there's no solution, there's no solution. There's no need to hate and do all that.
yeah.
Can I respond to that, Jack?
Please feel free. Yes.
Hey, Tarek. How's it going?
Oh, great.
I find it interesting. I hear a lot of double speak from you on panels all the time. You absolutely confuse the fuck out of me all the time. I was watching how you interact with people in chat, and then you come up here and you do the opposite. So, is it just me? Anybody else see that?
No, I see it myself. What is that? Who is that? I'm sorry. Who am I speaking to? I didn't look yet.
That was Thomas.
Yolanda.
Oh, Yolanda. Yeah, no, sometimes, like everybody else, I'm human. I get in my feelings a little bit, even though I'm very balanced and centered. I get in my feelings, and then I got to check myself. So I check myself next day, and I be centered, and I refocus. So you're not seeing anything that's not human, very human, but at least I admit to it that if I hurt somebody's feeling or offended anybody, I apologize. And at the same time, I don't contribute to kick somebody off. That's just a low, demeaning character, I would say. And I would do the opposite. I would put you on panel if you want and contribute. So I can hear what you got to say to me. Just like London, he said I'm creepy. How do you define creepy, London?
Here, let me, he's not here, but there is this comment, and I don't know if I'll agree with this, but I do know for a fact, Tarek, you agree with Paul on a lot of nonsense, particularly about me. And yet, see, so then you show yourself to be supportive as well, yet agreeing with nonsense. So there's a contradiction for you to try and see. All right.
Okay.
Because who's right about me? Am I a good man, or am I just worthless and confused, and everybody from my past is right, and I'm nothing if it wasn't for Daddy Paulie? I mean, that's kind of the nonsense you've agreed with him about. Who's right?
You want me to answer the question? Yeah. This is what I think, Jack. When I agree with Paul, I agree based on my own opinion, my own perception, right? Again, if I agree with Paul on whatever I agree on, doesn't matter if it's you, Flow State, or anybody else. That's just my opinion. If it bothers anybody that much, that means something else that person should work on. Because if you can cuss me out, you can do whatever you want. If you bother me to that point, that means I'm letting you in my space, in my mental space. And then next day I come, if I feel like I did that, I recenter, refocus. So nothing against you, Jack. If I agree with Paul on anything, it's just my opinion. Nothing. I'm not a hateful. I don't mean ill will against you or anything like that.
Right.
I don't.
But Tarek, I understand it doesn't affect me. That's what I realize that. I don't give a shit what you think, to be honest. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Yeah. No, you should not. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But this is what I want you to recognize is you have been agreeing with things that are untrue. You claim to be showing your own discernment, yet
I disagree.
How do you know my own discernment or not? Like I would say if you said something, you believe something, Jack, I would take it face value that's what you mean. You're being honest, and that's your discernment, right? So my discernment is my discernment. Why does it always have to be tainted or painted like it's Paul's discernment?
Well, this is what I'm challenging you to consider.
Go ahead. I
don't think you're paying as close attention as you think. Okay. I think see, here's what happens. I know I know many things about the patterns of our minds. If we tell our mind something, guess what? That's what is there. So Paul's, for hours, I've seen talking about me, a lot of insulting nonsense, not just me, but many other people. And you're saying to yourself, yes, hate,
but also Paul says tons of great things
anger.
about you.
What's that?
I was saying Paul says tons of great things about you all the time.
Does he?
You're here for brownie points, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck you, Flow State. You're like a lack of Flow State. You're a fucking stunted state. But no, I'm trying to help fucking Jack see that Paul has the utmost love for him, and I don't need to.
If I went back and rewound Paul's stream, would I find him saying something like, "Hey, you guys should go over there"?
All right, stunted state.
I've had him. Thomas, I know we can get along. There was a short period I thought we were, and then you're like, whatever. You think you're better than a lot of people, dude. And CIA, you know how it's going. You know the details. So that question is about the people, the Christian Investment Group. And actually, you know what? Fucking hilarious. Praise God. Praise God. The Christian Investment Group who fucking stole my home as a very wise investment. Yeah, as far as I know, they're doing pretty well. I know they got the rebate incentive from the solar panels I installed as well. So they're just fucking making money off of me. Praise God.
Praise
And
God.
Yeah. And Jack, do you see me wearing the hat sideways like a thug today? You know why I'm doing that today? Because Ben has been after me like crazy, call me E-Thug. So this is for Ben, the E-Thug look. And again, I don't hate Ben. You may disagree with me, but I'm giving you context, Ben. There you go. I love you. Here we go. No big deal. This is my E-Thug look for you, sir. E-Thug.
Tarek, I do like you. You're pretty funny guy. You are very lovable. You really are.
I try to, Jack.
You know, hey, something that I'm really considering, a lesson from my own life, and I encourage all of you, pay attention to the words you think. You tell yourself, I will never. You tell yourself, I will never, and I'm pretty sure the gods have a laugh. I actually think many people I've seen just button heads here on this YouTube realm, metaverse. They've said they'll never work together, but I know how much the world could benefit if they did. And that is, see guys, the micro is the micro is the macro. It's just all the same thing. Once you find an answer for yourself, consider the collective. When people who don't like each other figure out how to get along, guess what? Wars are done. Debts are forgiven. New opportunities start coming forth rather than investing time and energy, preparing for what? For others to do something against us. So let's do things for us by accepting our judgment creates an unnecessary burden and an unnecessary bond. And if we just live today, I mean, right now, it's easier to live when you don't spend so much time choosing enemies, keeping score, trying to remember the details of every slip up someone else made while you remember all the excuses for yourself. Guys, life is meant to be shared freely and honestly and with love.
Overcoming our differences if possible, right? If not, then if you can't overcome them, then why keep butting heads? Why, subject yourself to, a type of energy that seems to be going nowhere and just keeps to be spinning and looping?
And I'll add to that, Jesse. Jack, from my experience, when I used to box, you can hate someone, your opponent, and you want to, he can get to your nerves, talk shit, talk trash. But when you get in the ring and you finally do it, and say you guys are very competitive and very close, at the end, you like, this guy went all the way with me. You give him respect. You're like, you know what? Put that shit aside. That's a man that went all the way with me that way. And then you don't worry about competition. You start seeing a man for a different thing. So I strongly agree that you should not always fight. And if it is a competition, it should be hopefully at the end to a healthy conclusion.
respectful, and that's one of the thing about the combat sports is, a lot of that stuff is just to hype it up for the
Yeah.
fans, and there's not really a lot of hate that goes into it. Some people need to fuel that fire just to get energized, but afterwards, almost always, there's obviously the few instances that they actually really don't like each other, but that's a small group. Usually they have that mutual respect. After they're done, they can shake, hug, and even have a beer afterwards, after they, go through that type of a war.
Yeah, or can become best friends. I mean, some of the best rivals became best friends, like Muhammad
Jack was
Ali and
mentioning
Fraser. Yeah,
Jack was
right.
mentioning that earlier, that he's had, some real conflict with people that's become, lifelong friends of his.
Because a lot of times those people, Jack or Jesse or Flow State, they're really real with you. You may disagree with them, in the same time you're really real with them. So the ego may kick in sometimes and may not, be a part of that. But then you just put that aside and you're like, I've seen the worst of this guy. What else could come from him? He's real. Even if we disagree, he's real. You don't have to worry about
Just
the fake
because
aspect.
somebody's unpleasant doesn't mean that they're real.
No, I understand that. Flow State. Yeah, I'm just saying, like in a nutshell, if we think about it in terms of both persons are, you hopefully on that in a good space.
Hey, Steve, if you were back there long, I'm sorry. I didn't notice. I was looking at trying to figure out Jesse's mic. Your mic was coming in a bit. Oh, funky.
Is it my mic? Like, can you hear it? Should I turn it up? Should I turn it down? I'm not sure. Is this better?
Actually, it is better.
So I turned it up a little bit.
Oh, that's good. Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you. What is going on? I don't know where we were at. I lost track of the conversation.
We were talking about best friends and, sometimes in rival situations.
Sometimes what seems to be opposites, the idea that opposites attract, there is a lot of truth there. And there is a benefit to learning from the opposition, those who oppose what you're saying. It's important for us to learn those things. But the world, guys, I am serious. It's believe whatever you want, right? Whatever feels right with you. And I obviously can't prove the future, but I'm kind of excited for the future. It's got to be better than this. And I've got it gratitude. Well, and I've got it good right now. That's the whole point. There is something incredible that is happening through us. And I shared this earlier. God bless. I got to speak with my mother earlier today. And so some of these thoughts got worked out too. I thought I've had huge visions, right? Maybe the visions of grandeur got into my head at points in the past. Today, I'm far, far more humble than where I was. I'm still confident that we, me and you, us, we are going to be a part. We are already a part of something incredible, right? Now, how incredible is it? Well, it took eternity of the past, billions of years, so they say, here on earth for us to get here to today, and the future could be even longer. So we're part of something pretty amazing. And we are the creation of the divine. We are here to live in the presence of God, with the presence of God in our hearts, in our minds, with the knowing that we are loved. To bring it to the topic, our conflicts and the oppositions we face, the people who really do hurt us, guess what that creates? When you've got a righteous reason to hate, a righteous reason to be angry, and you can still find forgiveness, guess what that does for you? That is evidence of strength in your character that can never be taken from you. Simple as that. And we're here to develop.
And that's one thing I seen out of you, Jack. So you've been, multiply attacked, over and over. This has been a roller coaster ride, and you seem to continue to find forgiveness, trying to find resolve. You continue on this journey when a lot of people, wouldn't, because of how much heads you're butting, and you continue on because you do want to portray yourself as the man of peace and, figure out these conflicts, instead of, having them. And I think that you sleep better at night, if you're able to resolve these things with these people that you have been having confrontation with.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, brother. Who would attack Jack? Pretty much anybody who wants to. And there've been a number of people that find joy out of, whatever, trying to one up, trying to make sure I'm wrong, wrong.
Whether it was real or not, for a while it was a big game. It was just a game that was being played on you.
Yeah.
And, whether or not people really felt like that, that's what you had to experience, this turbulent ride, which has made you become a better person. So whether or not it was right or justified, you have grown a lot because of it.
Thank you, bro. I've seen growth. And this is what I realized. I am one of many. And thank you, Jesse. There's many of us been challenged in different ways, but I have been focused on trying to grow intentionally. How do I improve every day? What can I discover? And here, guys, sincerely.
Who's listening to music?
Oh, no, I think I'm at Tim Hortons, so I think it's their music. I'll shut it.
Okay,
Thank
it's not very loud. I could just hear it a little bit, barely.
Yeah.
You're all right.
That's good you noticed it. Yeah, let me know.
Thank you.
You're
Hey, some of the things I was thinking about earlier regarding the simplicity of life, okay? If you can, within yourself, come to a place of wholeness, complete, without urgency, without expectations, you don't even have a care in the world, just for a moment. Become whole and complete. Damn, where was I going with that? Oh, and so from a state of wholeness and completeness, right? Being who you are, as you are, go through the day with curiosity. Try to notice, what can I learn? What do I notice has changed, particularly within the self? And each day, if you're looking for change, ooh, this is a totally different subject, but it perfectly. So we talked about boredom the other day. Boredom creates these comfort zones, or comfort zones create our prisons. And sometimes our prison is our identity, who we've become comfortable presenting ourselves as. My prison was the alcoholic Jack. It was miserable. I was trapped. I was insane. And I didn't know how to get help. I didn't know how to ask for help. I allowed my mind to wander.
It's all right, Jack. We all do it sometimes.
Well, I've been criticized of my honesty rather than just trying to stumble through and make something work like I've seen others do.
Yeah,
I've been criticized because I do admit when I've lost my thought or when I have not been paying close enough attention.
Oh, I do it all the time too.
yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I even
I know.
apologized to Salty Siren today on Paul's broadcast in the chat. I told her that I apologized if I was rude, but you know, sometimes you notice it. But a lot of times, Jack, here's the thing: in any broadcast, there is a bit non-bit. There is a little place sometimes just to make it a little exciting for the audience because they are not. If you just fully, I think, talk about a certain subject, I think you may lose some of them. Not that you should care, but any panel would. So sometimes there is. And like one time, for example, Flow State said something to me and said I'm a dumbass, stuff like that. I said, Flow State, you're entitled for your opinion. I didn't get mad. He is entitled to his opinion. He may think I'm the dumbest guy on earth. It don't matter. And he may say something nice to me, which is totally fine. But I would not let that affect me. Now, did it sometimes affect me when I got a little mad when like Moose said some stupid shit or the Bentard E-Thug? Yeah, but I know I don't hate Ben. I don't hate nobody. We're back to normal next day, next, proving cycle.
I've been learning and growing. Well, actually, we are all learning and growing. How do we overcome these things that have been hurting us emotionally? You know, how do we overcome getting triggered by what people say? Number one, what we can do is if there's truth in what others are saying that we're reacting to, we can own it. We can stop denying that we're this way. We can actually look for the truth. And here's where this is what's going to change this world. Where the hell did I put that?
We're losing Jack today.
No, I'm remembering that I had some great thoughts on this that I wrote somewhere, but where was it? I'm trying to remember what I wrote. It has to do with communication. Oh, no. It has to do with forgiveness.
What's the topic today?
Unforgiveness. So the idea is to kind of bring to awareness how unforgiveness creates a bond and a burden for us, that it's unnecessary. It holds us back. And so identifying the problem, the goal is to help people understand that we can free ourselves from those bonds, from the burdens of the past by acceptance, by forgiveness.
And unforgiveness would be not being able to forgive someone, letting them live rent-free in your head?
That's a great way of putting it too. And it is.
Forgiveness isn't for them. I think that's the misconception people get. It's
exactly.
So the question is, how do you forgive someone who's hurt you deeply?
Revenge.
No.
Revenge.
No, man. That's not good. You let it go, man. Deep inside, I think everybody else, it doesn't matter. Like people get offended if I called you a bitch or Jesse or whatever, whoever. Sometimes we all do it. Sometimes may say some things that can hurt your feelings. But do you wonder why some people are doing it? Are they doing it because they really hate you, or they wish you ill will intent, or they're just doing it to piss you off? And I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, or they're doing it just to get a bit.
Button pushers. Button pushers, and to see where you're at, or because misery loves company, and a lot of people, because they're in a state where they're not, satisfied, happy with themselves, it's easier to poke around and then to feel that emotion opposed to dealing with that own inner turmoil that's going on in a lot of people. And a lot of people won't admit it, but a lot of people have that inner turmoil that they haven't been able to come to balance with or come to accept.
But I also think, Jesse, sometimes when people poke, they're very good at poking, I would say. Like some certain people are really good at poking. And if they have a history with somebody poking them and forgiveness back and forth, for example, they poke that because they want to see what that mental state is and they want to make sure their guard is up and to make sure maybe is there a way to forgive or this is somebody attacking me. So it could be from either way. My
In
belief.
some ways, yeah, the people can help themselves like that, but you have to have a good bond in order
Yeah.
to do that. Because if you don't have that bond with the person's poking somebody, then it's more of an attack than actually trying to help them because they don't see it as that person, looking to help them, opposed to just attacking them with their pokes.
Yep, true.
What I know I have experienced, and Tarek, this is what I know for Paul. Hurt people hurt people. Paul's carrying a lot of hurt, a lot of distrust. He projects his distrust, makes excuses for his distrust. And you know what? He's one of many. This is normal for us to do. We don't realize it, but praise God. This is God's plans, and the understandings are becoming clear, right? More and more people are understanding consciousness, the way that our minds and emotions work. I'm not alone. I'm just clumsily trying to explain what I've been learning and experiencing. We are here to follow the way. Okay? The way of the truth, the light, and the life. It's with love. The way to love is through the truth. We must overcome our opinions, overcome the past, and fall in love with whatever is true.
Jack, here's my question. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jesse. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the devil's about division, right? And, ultimately we want to come back together as people because we've been divided for way too long, and they create narratives. They create these, reasons for people to be divided just so we don't, come back and find the true power and the glory that we're supposed to have, in this, loving, beautiful universe. It's supposed to be heaven on earth, not the hell that, some people want to make it into.
Let's talk about just little the distinction between heaven and hell, right? In heaven, you're going to know the presence, know the glory of God. In hell, it will appear quite distant, maybe even unimaginable. That's here on earth, guys, as well. We pattern ourselves. I heard this elsewhere, and I think this is kind of true. We pattern ourselves after the God we believe in, even if we don't have a clear definition of what that is. I spent time, and I encourage others to please spend time considering all of the evidence that could prove how much God loves you. Who gives a shit about anybody else? God shows its love to us, through us. I mean, by the mere fact that we are. And then we gain these relationships. Other people like us, they become a part of us through our lives, through the energies we exchange. And some people are a painful part, some people are a glorious part, but we are all a part of today. And today, there's a lot of wars going on in this world. And brothers and sisters, if you can consider the thought that we are the solution for the future. The problems, many of the world problems are out of our immediate control, but I trust that together we can shine light onto the corruption. We can unite together and overcome the divisions that authority and wealth have created. We can stop enabling these divisions amongst each other. And we can. I truly, truly feel within me that God is doing this. And here, if there is truth that we create our reality through the mind, which is what a lot of people are teaching these days, if that is true, then please join my dreams. Share this thought of a possible future of peace and love, man. Don't worry, humans are fucking creative. We'll find ways to piss each other off, even in a world of peace and love. I got no doubt about that.
You just attacked authority and wealth.
Yep.
Why would you go after competence and prosperity?
Oh, beautiful.
You think authority is competence?
No, but I think it should be. I think it should be.
Agree. You and I share a lot of the same things, but we know for a fact that authority does not indicate competence.
You're right. You're right. It should though. I think the authority should accompany competence, but not be independent of it.
Hey, Flo, I love the way you challenge me, and I do agree with the idea. And I'm not so much challenging as much as I'm suggesting, let's stop allowing these things like authority and wealth to make such a big difference between us. And the best way to do that is by kind of bringing things out into the open. Hey, we've got a special guest returning. I don't think you guys would be upset. Welcome back, Tommy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Tommy's cool sometimes.
No, me and you are not cool, Tarek. You are a buffoon.
Okay, Tommy.
Like me and Jack are gonna catch a lot of flack in the future of, it's all because of Paul. It's all because of Paul. Paul has made you a thing that thinks you are a thing. Like you are the most absolute dumbass in this community, and you're making a showing everywhere you can only because he's got false confidence built up in you. You're a fucking moron, Tarek. And he's not much smarter than you, but he's got the cult backing it.
No, he's very smart. Like I said, I'm the dumbest guy on the panel.
No, he's not. I mean, he's smart enough to be a manipulative, narcissistic cult leader, but he's not smart. Not smart enough to see he's been shown up and still sticks around thinking this is a brand he's going to build. And we're talking to him because he acts like he doesn't know. I sat there with an open panel for him or London Man to come to. Oh, but he's restreaming this right now.
Yeah, and I've got a
stream. This is what he does, Tarek.
Later, where we're going.
This is what he does, Tarek. He'll let a dumbass like you or Snafu sit there for hours because he knows he can toy with you. I can't get a sentence out because he knows I've got his card pulled.
Okay. Why do you keep thinking that I'm there because someone's controlling?
I've failed by making you think you're too much of the subject matter of why I'd come up here. I'm just informing you you're a direct fucking jackass. You let this community believe you're a recent refugee from Ramadi when you've been here almost as long as I've been alive. You don't have a chest. You are a gym bitch. And if you came around Denver telling me I'm a demon that works for Shaitan, you'd be hard-pressed to meet a faster fate than Snafu himself. Okay. Now turn your fucking hat around like a grown-ass man and act like you ain't a fucking retarded Ninja Turtle.
No, this is for Isak Button, but he see Tommy, like, I don't get mad. You can say that to me. You're entitled for your opinion. Why
you don't get mad because you lack substance. Getting mad is not a thing. It's okay to get mad when you have the right thing to get mad about. You know what I'm mad about, Tarek?
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't watch London Man's little stream before I did my pull-up, because I didn't know he sat there and called me a racist pedophile, challenging Snafu for how many times he said it.
Tom.
Now I'm fucking pissed. At first I was like, there's a reading comprehension issue here. Now I am livid.
Tom. Please take just a tiny break from being pissed, please.
I'll take a break when I make your hit piece too, because you are also in the wrong, Jack. I'm tired of you portraying yourself the way you do, and you'll get hit too.
Join us in this moment, okay?
I'm always in this moment. I think you are the one that's challenged to be in the moment.
Tom, your opinions keep you so worked up.
I agree.
Your opinions. And I do not agree with the way that you were presented, Paul or Tom's narrative about you, Tarek. There's some truth, but I see you as you represent yourself. You seem a man of confidence, not taken entirely from Paul. You're a confident man. And it sounds like you got plenty of reasons to be confident. I don't have any reasons. I don't have any ill feelings towards you or others. But Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's got issues.
Actually, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
No, I'm just saying, like, Tommy, like, I just told him right now, he insulted me, right? But I don't take it as an insult because I already know his brain and how he thinks. So I just pray for you, Tommy. I'm not here to wish you bad or do anything for you. And when I joke around and say the basement stuff, again, Vietnam bit, get it, idiot.
All right. Tommy, love you, brother. Let's take a break from being pissed, okay? We don't have
if you guys really knew me and you really understood how my brain works, you'd know that the most infuriating thing is to be removed from communication, to go on and on with what you think is your...
Well, Tommy, it appears that the normal pattern for my life is to trigger egos. So God bless you, brother. That's my gift for you. You get to overcome that thing that pisses you off. Find a way to enjoy it, brother. You'll feel better.
Yeah.
Guys, this actually is a theory I've had that I think is pretty obvious to me. There's a lot of life lessons that relationships, different people bring together. I see a lot of, I suspect, especially with patterns from my past. No, everyone is carrying shit from their past. And what happens is karma brings together relationships to, guess what? Bring that stuff to light. I see a lot of people getting real pissed off at each other with opportunities to learn forgiveness very easily. No real harm has been done with some of the things that have been said, but it's an opportunity to get over it. Tommy, can we move forward?
Your job is now to trigger egos. I thought that was your dad. I thought you were conflict resolution. Are you a liar?
Tom, I've shared that commonality, that similarity. I've observed that, or I've shared that observation before. Now, Tom, I've also pointed out that you and Paul share similar patterns.
I've pointed that out, but it's not the bad ones.
Well,
that's why I agree with him when he's right. Don't overtalk me. Do you see how I handled the both pedo or comment thing where I said, hey, here's the panel, come talk about it? And even now, as lit as I am seeing how long London just dwells on this comment in the wrong comprehension and context, I can't even let myself read what his panel goes into. But I was open to meeting up and talking about it, right? Agreed, I mean? Come on, Jack, respond, right?
Well, you created an opportunity. I absolutely.
All I'm making the point of, Jack, is you still won't do that about how you disappointed your son. Now who's triggering?
Hey, Tom.
And the longer you deny that, the worse we have to assume it was.
I'm not. You are continually.
It's not my opinions I go by, boys.
Tom,
when you guys say my opinions cloud my ego and you go on with Jack's meta.
Tom, you find irrelevant things and seem to make a big deal about them. See, you're so fixed on that question because you've created a distorted image of me. You've shared things that, your suspicions that I was an abusive drunk with my son. So, Tommy, all of your little imagined nonsense are preventing you. Well, here's where we're at, Tommy. Your behavior and your accusations are preventing you from understanding and
I
us.
haven't made any accusations.
Tom,
I've simply looked into more detail, and the only thing blocking any of us from more detail is you. And I'm not
Tom,
worried about your son, Jack. He's 20 years old. He's out the house. He can do what he wants. But you, like London, seem to forget you brought your kids into this metaversal subject matter. Thus, it is open, as was my PDF accusation and meth accusation.
Tom, what would you like to understand?
Why did you share Sterling Ray's comment when on this very panel I have ended it?
You have ended it?
I gave the correct, what I wrote in that comment was correct. The only incorrect has been by the readers. I showed that. Tell me how I'm wrong. That's what the fuck I thought.
Tom, I think that the wrongness is in that thing. Like, it's over. I think you've said it right, and I agreed with you.
Okay, so why is he sharing this chat of Sterling going, make it right, Tom?
I don't know, but I get just my opinion. My opinion on it is that there's nothing left to figure out. You said it right.
The only thing
I
that's
agree
left
with
is
you,
me.
and it's not
the only
because
thing that's left is me and London on the same panel where he doesn't have mod.
Tom, look, London is the homie.
Yeah.
And I still agree that you are correct in this situation.
Your problem is you go by homie.
Oh my God.
When I left and you said I was just about to back him up.
Flo, thank you. I saw what you were doing there. I'm at my patience with. Actually,
there's really nothing left to do. Like, there's literally nothing left to figure out. Everybody has enough information to make their own decisions on it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep. There's many people, and Tommy, I believe you may be one of these. I'm not saying it is true, but there's people who have developed unconscious patterns of agitation. They don't feel right at peace. They're constantly trying to find things to complain about and things to fight.
Histrionic personality disorder, I think.
Histrionic?
Yeah, histrionic personality disorder is it's when somebody confuses intensity for love, basically. And so if things get too calm or peaceful in a relationship, they'll turn it up some.
That sounds very accurate. Thank you. And I was thinking you shared some sort of research pattern diagnosis with me. And I was thinking, dude, some of that stuff is so insightful. Learning the patterns of personalities.
Yeah, are you talking about Enneagram, the numbers?
I think that yes, Enneagram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very insightful.
What reminded me of that is kind of this my pattern, and maybe I still have it at times. I make the excuse of righteousness in my anger and my fucking reactions, like a child, like a toddler. Even if
Jack, we all do it sometimes. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No.
But yeah, we all sometimes are. We all do it. Like, I learned a lot from Paul, right? And then you make this off some people. I do have my own personality. I am me. I am who I am. And I learned a lot from interactions with you and Paul, Flowstate, and others. Like, somebody would be lying to you, excuse me, if they said that I only learned some things or most things from Paul. That's not true. I learned things from you, Flowstate, whoever was on the panel. because if you don't see that and you don't tell that person that you have seen good in them, then you're just being selfish and you'll be miserable, I think, your whole life. I mean, why can't you give some gratitude to somebody that's good in something? Nobody's good in everything. And some people are just better at things in certain departments, or they could be way better. It doesn't mean the other person is not better in some things. And it's not even about better. It's about getting along and being happy and helping each other. I don't know where that went. Like, everything is hate now.
Yeah. Hey, it's Tarek, what you said is finding the good in others. That is what life's about, man. Tom, you don't have Tom.
Well, can you see how you're not communicating well, Jack? If you just stick me in the back, I assume you're bringing me back up. If you're bringing me back up, why do I have to sit through Tarek's bullshit?
Well, I wasn't going to bring you back up, but
so why did you just leave me in the back without telling me you weren't? Because now my time's hijacked.
You were complaining about Tarek, and I didn't understand why.
I'm complaining about some legitimate things that have.
Tell you what, Tom.
Now, why is just because I have a problem with someone, why do we have to drop some clinical diagnosis from an economics degree?
I don't know. Hey, Tom.
You don't know, do you? Now, remember
I wasn't
when
diagnosing you.
Remember when? Don't talk over me, Flow State. I don't know why you're blocked, but I'll leave you there.
Don't talk over me.
Now, Jack,
Flow State has been one of your greatest
do you remember when you asked Paul if Moose was in the back because maybe Paul had sent him to set you up? Don't you think it's funny that Tarek showed up about the time Paul started restreaming you? I'm not saying that's why. It's just one of the things I consider.
I don't care.
I don't care either, Jack. But when you do care about shit, I don't just brush you off and say, "Oh, Jack, your opinions are creating nuance that is slightly inconveniencing my day." But that's how you treat me, don't you? And that's why we're not friends. That's why me and Flow State aren't friends, and I'm not seeking a mistake of love and conflict. I'm just in a community of dumbasses, and I hate them.
Okay.
Not true. You don't know.
He doesn't hate us. He just doesn't know how to have intimacy.
Not yet. He's learning.
Not yet, but Jack will teach you to be intimate.
Intimate with the self. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, honestly, this is something I suspect based on my education and what I've learned. If someone will trust themselves or trust me enough to learn, they will learn more about themselves. If they learn about me, they'll learn more about themselves.
Do you teach self-massage?
I can. Very simple tips.
Can that be a day one class? If you could teach self-massage as an isolated class, I think that would be a big hit. You could make it like a members only class, the self-massage with Jack Talcott.
Fucking brilliant.
Right?
Sorry for the profanity, but absolutely brilliant. And I could. And you know what? If someone learned the practice, developed their own practice of self-massage, bringing immense pleasure into their day, their life will change.
And I promise you, if you made that a standalone class and put it behind a $20 payroll, you would have people. We're going to save that house, Jack Talcott.
That's a great idea. I got to figure out how to set up the camera and stuff. A way that might work. Dude, I could do OnlyFans and do it from bed.
One step at a time. One step. Let's just do the members video first.
Man, Jack is going to OnlyFans right away.
God, it wasn't really very hard to turn him out, was it?
No, the idea is, I do hope for people to find more joy, find more pleasure, find more health in their day. Because if you can find pleasure, even if the world is fucked from your situation, right? Even if it's just looking the worst, if you can find a way to bring pleasure into your mind for a few minutes, remind yourself that life is okay. It brings change. And that was actually one of the greatest, most obvious realizations that brought comfort to me, was just that. When it looks like I'm going to, when it looks like everything is gone and there's no hope for the future, if you can remind yourself that today is nothing but change. That's what time is change. So if we can allow ourselves to change, allow the world to change within your mind, just that remembering, okay, while it appears bleak right now, things change. The world changes. There is a divine source that wants me to succeed, that wants me to grow, that wants me to prosper. And that divine source, it brings forth challenges for us so that we can be refined, we can be strengthened, and our characters can be improved.
And when you change, the world around you does change, just by you seeing it in that changed way.
Yeah, usually you lose a lot of people.
I've heard, well, aside from that, I have heard that the awakening of one person's awakening to love and life and greater truth, it spreads. It does create like ripples and waves of change. I think from ways that we can explain, from the consciousness and the way communication and stuff is, through what could be apparent. But I truly believe when each of us, grow in our consciousness, grow in our love, remembering the love and light that is available, this world is going to transform in front of our eyes, through our words, through our thoughts, which become our actions. And I do believe, guys, that, the world is going to change one way or another. And I think we are a part of something big. Why? Why do I say that? Because I know who I am. I don't fucking quit. And I intend on creating this into something big. And you guys are a part of it.
Jack, I got a question. Um, yeah, you're right. Everybody's going to change. I think that's very true. We like it or not, life moves on. We all change. But here's my question. Like, we're all bright enough to know, or cognizant enough to know, that the brain, most people, at least 90%, I would say at least, function on the subconscious, which is patterns, memories of things you have done repeatedly over and over since you were a kid, taught, preached, whatever the case may be. So if you encounter somebody that has changed, and then that person is still operating under the subconscious, which is all memories, and many people are doing it, how do we get together and actually get to a point where we understand that we're operating under the subconscious? You have to change without fighting and maybe insulting each other.
The solution, I think, for what you were asking.
Yeah, I mean, no, not solution. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? I don't know how to. I don't know what the solution is.
It's finding a way for communication. For communication to happen, we each need to start from the same space and place, right? Coming in to the present, not, carrying around our schedules and our other distractions, so that we actually become present and aware of each other. And then with intention and the care, the desire to know. And that's something, I don't know. I've considered trying to do this on a stream on my own, but there's processes to communication. There's steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get people, make sure people are comfortable, Make sure they know what you're intending. And then ideally, you want people to ask for what you're offering. This is what happens in the mainstream. The problem, reaction, solution. You tell people what you want to offer and what I want to offer. I do that without pointing it out at the beginning of my stream. You point out what you want to offer. You want to show the benefits of why that would be good. And I've been doing this poorly, but so to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Come from a place of love.
Exactly.
Be honest with your intentions and your purpose of that time together, right? And if the two or more can come to agreement on their purpose and intentions for the time together, what is it you want to develop, what disagreements, whatever, and then together with the focus, man, that's where the power of God, I believe, reveals. It's through inspirations, greater revealings, perspectives get shifted, minds are changed, hearts are open. And in just one day, man, just like that, I have witnessed this through one day with the right state of mind, a shift in perception, and someone's life can instantly transform.
All right. Here's my next question, Jack. Since I've been on this, I would say awakening or knowing of the, police and a lot of things that are done to us that are not fair or illegal and all that. My family literally think I'm crazy. I love them to death. They love me to death. My family would do anything for me. It's vice versa, right? But I have pushed myself away a little bit, and I don't let them anger me anymore because I know they got love in their heart and they mean well. And I don't open the subject about these things anymore unless they want to discuss it. And if they do, I try to be really relaxed and calm and let it get to me. So that's how I deal with it with my family. And I think with you and Paul sometimes, no matter how much you disagree, I think, and that's why I'm asking this question to let you know, with my own family, I have had these discussions. They have hung up on me, took me off the chat from the family because of some of my opinions. I don't get mad at things. I know inside they love me. So with you and Paul, I think no matter what the disagreement is, I think there is love. There's going to be a lot of disagreements. And then the future, I think, has something for you and him, maybe not, but I think it does.
Tarek, I appreciate that. I've been learning a lot of this. I learned in lectures and education, but a lot of this I'm growing into, and I can see and understand the benefits of these things. We're at an interesting point right now. And Tarek, I want to encourage you with what I heard. You and your family know that the relationship is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You're dealing with what could be a burden because you've learned things they have not, and that can weigh you down with worry and with fear about them and their safety, which creates an urgency, and then that anxiety, that trying too hard, it actually prevents them from understanding. What I was considering today, the power of prayer, is something I'm learning more to understand too. There's something about seeing it, knowing it. If you're dealing with someone who does not understand, see them as though they do. Like here, I'll use Paul as an example.
Tarek, that mic noise is your hoodie. Your mic is right on your hoodie. Yeah, so whenever you move, it's on the one side, so it just bops. So whenever you're moving, if you can just pull your hoodie back a little bit so the mic's not touching it. So because when you nod your head and stuff, everybody's hearing that mic go.
Thanks,
All right, how
Jeff.
about now? Is that better? I took it off, period.
Yeah,
I have my thing on, but I took it off. Thank you.
thanks. So Paul is a character we know I care about, and you're right, Tarek. There's something there. I'm going to actually mute you for a moment. There is something there with the experience that brought us together. And this is why I offer these observations. I think life brings us this for a reason. What I will be working on more, especially since these more recent thoughts, is to see Paul as though he is kind, respectful, honest, without carrying around what I've witnessed from the past. I'm going to do a better job of focusing on the future that I know is possible. And so for your own relationships, brother, if you can see in your mind them seeking, them wanting to accept, or if you can envision them asking you questions, I don't know. There's power to this, getting clarity on our minds and seeing the results and not accepting the sickness of another. That was a reminder I had recently as well. If it's true, which I think it is, that we are divine spirits having a human experience, well, sometimes it is our path to forget that we're divine, and we allow disease to consume our body. We allow hate and all sorts of things to consume us because we forget. So if we can see each other as the divine being who's having a dream of these problems, I think we can help each other wake up. I hope that makes sense.
It does, Jack. But here's the thing, though. Like a lot of people, I'll take anybody, me, you, anybody. We're born with certain beliefs, certain things mom and dad or college or your peers or friends taught you. And when we get to a certain age, and I know, the traits are hard to change. So we are, like, you have to understand, we all have to do it. We are going to bump heads sometimes because of those memories or subconscious that you've been fed. And a lot of them are lies. So how do we defer which is not good for somebody or not, when we're all kind of in the fault? Like, we're all in a way learning how to deal with this stuff that's been fed in our brains.
By recognizing our areas of right or responsibility.
And bumping heads are okay as long as you're respectful about it with the other person, not attacking, not making that person feel less of a person or a man, just because you're bumping heads. Like, people like to push those buttons instead of actually trying to find resolution.
I don't even know if I agree with that so much. Like, I see your point. I don't necessarily agree, because it involves how you make somebody else feel, as if that's really anything that you can control or are responsible for. You're responsible for your own actions. So if they're hostile,
Flo,
you'll make me feel sad by disagreeing with me.
But if they're hostile because you're pushing those buttons to make them hostile, then you just have that, you actually have the culpability to it.
Right. I would agree with that.
So, hey, the other answer, I love those answers, by the way. The answer to that question, Tarek, of the biggest thing is, what is important? We argue. We spend fucking hours. I'm guilty of it in my past. I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
We spend hours arguing over irrelevant things that we have no responsibility of, right? No direct influence over. So the way to break out of that and to reunite is to really, truly, intentionally come into the present, especially if it's a family member who doesn't quite have the same foundation of understandings. If you can make sure you are in the present and stay loving, stay caring with recognition and care that the other person does have feelings. Nobody likes to be told, nobody likes to know that to learn they were wrong. And that's the burden some of us from the truth community do actually carry, is we can do a more efficient job of sharing the truth when we do so with care, recognizing that other people, I've been through those emotions, dude. Finding out you're wrong, finding out you told someone you love wrong information, finding out you misled someone. Holy shit, that's a bad feeling.
Finding out that you brought your kids to go get injected by some poison and you're the one who's led them there, and then having to admit that you're the one who did that. That's one of the biggest reasons why people are having a hard time and go along with it, because they just can't admit that they did especially their kids dirty.
Yeah, but I agree with Flow State on this a little bit, because in terms of like, if you're talking to somebody and they're aggressive, right? I just said earlier, like if your intellect is based on memories and subconscious, right? And say you grew up in a family value where speaking to somebody else was a little bit non as traditional, more hostile, more screaming. And then after like 30 years, you come in encounter with that person, you're speaking to them, and you're a very calm person, but the other person is shouting. You have to acknowledge that if you are in that state of mind and you're aware, that person could be in a bad situation when he was younger. That's why you shouldn't let him trigger you. Okay, so I think like at times if somebody's triggered, if you're aware of that, you should calm down a little more and try to calm him down, and then maybe you could take it to a better level. And when he gets a little bit non-heated, maybe you can have a better result. I feel like sometimes, a lot of times, these exchanges are not done in the right energy, I would say, or frequency, and now it's off the chart, a rumble.
I can give you an example of something that recently I seen. So we all know that Simon guy who's from the UK that comes in hot and heavy all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Because he comes in hot and heavy, I seen him on another panel come in nice and quiet, respectful, but people were already hot and heavy on him, and he came with a different energy, and they were already, on that energy that he usually comes in with.
I mean, I agree with that. And again, I seen Flow State lose it. I'm not saying Flow State doesn't lose his temper either.
Who did I lose it on?
Well, I mean, you and Paul had no, I'm saying you and Paul a little bit had a maybe an intense, from what I saw,
conversation last night when he froze the fuck up like a seized engine and then left.
Again, that would be your opinion, which you're entitled to. But again, what I'm saying is, it's not the opinion side. That's where I think the ego out. Yeah, it's not the opinion side. I take the ego out. I think sometimes it's healthy to have those conversations to get it out of your way and maybe come to an understanding, because you can't always put it inside of you. That would mess you up.
I never put anything inside of me.
No, I know you don't. I know. I don't know what you put inside of you, but I know you probably.
We're all here to learn from each other, but it sure seems like we spend an awful lot of time judging, accusing, defending each other. But welcome, Chuck.
Hey, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
If it's important, God will bring it back to you.
Praise be.
Amen.
That's what I've come. Actually, I am taking I don't know. You guys will, not you guys. This can be twisted and taken out of context, but not arrogantly or egoically. I have been kind of gambling with my time, because I know I've been saying openly, I feel that God has blessed me by what I've been allowed to learn. So what am I supposed to do with what I've learned? Obviously, I'm here to share it. So should I be writing a book You know, because if I die, then at least it's written and it can be shared. But, or do I gamble? I'm
What do you
actually
mean gamble?
not create, not write a book right now. That's probably what I mean is
I would think that the best way to share knowledge would be to get people to want the knowledge, and nothing will make them want it more than demonstrating its utility.
true.
Okay.
That
But
is
Jack,
true.
if I yeah, Jack, here's my question. I'm sorry, real quick. Like, you know how I asked the Flow State there would be a friendly yesterday between him and Paul. I said you got your opinion and you're entitled to it, right? Let's just say I said to Flow State, for example, Paul put you in check. He fucking stepped over you. You're a bitch. You're a fucking low ass motherfucker, for example. How do you think Flow State would react to that?
You did say
Not
that
very
in
well.
chat on
No,
TML
I
show.
understand. I understand that. There's a reason why I'm asking. I know, Chuck. I'm asking Flow State or Jack, and the reason why I'm asking is if somebody attacks you that way, always try to understand and calm yourself down. I wouldn't react so bad to somebody putting you down sometimes, and just let it be until they're not heated. If they're heated, if they mean it, they may not even mean it.
But why? Like I don't internalize anything that people say to me in anger. I rarely internalize anything people say about me negative at all. Probably I could be a little bit more accepting of criticism, but if somebody's being belligerent like Paul is, why would I let him calm down instead of just tell him what the fuck I think, which is what I did last night, that he's a fake ass thug. He buys subscribers. Like, why does he deserve that benefit or the courtesy?
Can I answer this? Can I answer this? Honestly, because it's more effective.
It is.
I've seen a lot of people confront Paul's ego to ego. But I believe if you can outdo him in humility, I believe he will follow the lead.
And I don't mean this offensively, but of everybody I've seen come into conflict with Paul, I have to say that your old method is the worst one of all.
And you're entitled to that, which is fine.
Yeah, which was just let him do whatever the fuck he wants and keep coming back for more.
I know it may have looked that way. I understand that. That's not how I felt, but you know what? Maybe it was. I know.
Again, I'm not trying to like take a dig at you. I'm just saying, like,
no, you're right.
Be careful.
Enabling that behavior is not helpful, and that's kind of what the challenge has been, is that there's enough facts and enough supporters, enough people making excuses for him. He doesn't see any reason to listen or change.
But Jack, what works for you but works for one doesn't mean it works for all. Everybody's got different angles. Everybody comes at things at different things. So how you see things working and how you see it's right doesn't mean everybody's going to see it that way.
That's very true.
Yeah. Hey, the idea with
I know what I was going to tell. Don't feel bad about Tommy, because Tommy don't like me either. For some reason, he thinks I stole a bunch of his words. I don't know where he got that from. So when I asked him to tell me the words and prove what he was saying, he kicked me out of his channel today. I got a kick out of that.
He's working on it, but I'm blocked from his streams too. He said he's working on it. It was a mistake. But I don't know.
I thought you guys were BFFs.
Well, we are BFFs. That will never change, because best friends forever was forever.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
Chuck, did you say that you stole his words?
Yeah.
Like you said something that he says?
Yes. When I was speaking from my own heart, I forget who. Oh, it might have been on Steve's show. I can't remember. But he accused me of stealing all of his dialogue about Paul. And it wasn't all about Paul. It was just my perception of things. And he said I stole every one of the words I said was his. And I said, okay, well, tell me the words so I can go back and look. And no, that wasn't. Nope, can't do that. You're a fake, a fraud, and a phony. Goodbye. And he threw me out. I still don't know why. When I was just speaking from the heart.
Maybe the next time there's an opportunity, you might ask him, or let it go. Whatever.
Well, I came up earlier to ask him, but he left, so I couldn't ask him.
They do say imitation is one of the biggest forms of flattery. So if he was saying things and you were repeating those things that he was saying, that's not something that's a knock or a diss, right? That's something that, that's supposed to be, or they say that it's a good thing.
And if I
Chuck,
did, it
why
wasn't
do you
on
need
purpose.
validation from Tommy, though? I understand you're a grown man, right? Why do you need validation from Tommy or anyone for that case if somebody said something, whatever, especially Tommy?
Well, it's not validation. It's the fact that the truth. If you're going to put it out there, put it out there as the truth, not a lie. I mean, I realize a bunch of people don't like me. They think I'm a country bumpkin or whatever.
It doesn't matter if I like it or not. I wouldn't put that much energy trying to find somebody to see.
But it was getting to the point where no matter where I was at, if I was in chat, Tommy would come in there and start his crap on me.
And you're shocked? You're shocked.
I don't mind it if it's true. I just didn't like the lies he was perpetuating. That was all.
Chuck? Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, Jack. I'm all ears.
There's something that I'm trying to understand, okay? Because for whatever reason, Chuck, I do get triggered by you. And I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, I saw in the chat that you want to talk to Flo about what happened on this stream last night.
No, I told him.
Make sure and gossip. So I think I figured it out. Why you triggered me?
No, it wasn't about gossip. I wasn't going to bring it up on your show to get you all hot and heavy again. I didn't want to get you aggravated again. That's why I told him I'd tell him later.
You want to talk about it behind my back?
Which I was about to say was the respectful thing for him to do, but the hot and heavy maybe was a disrespectful choice of words. But either way, do you want him to talk about it here, Jack?
Well, I'm curious what Chuck's intentions are, because as I'm sitting here wondering, why is Chuck triggering me? It's because he presents himself as a Christian, seeking attention, gossiping, and complaining.
I'm not a Christian.
Chuck, you gotta wait.
Chuck, well, yes, please. Thank you, Tarek. Thank you.
I'm an alcoholic. One alcoholic can see another alcoholic.
No, Chuck, get past that. Stop allowing your excuses. I'm an alcoholic. I see things you don't. This is delusional, dude. What I'm suggesting to you is the patterns that I'm seeing triggering me. It appears that you're going around seeking attention, not really offering. I'm not sure what is being offered other than you're seeking validation. Yep. You're complaining and gossiping, which is exactly what I don't like about Paul.
Chuck, are you like when you're saying you're an alcoholic, are you drinking a lot every night?
I haven't drank in 20 years.
Oh, you used to be an alcoholic. Okay.
If I pick one up, I'll be right back where I was at.
Okay, why? Good for you.
So I still consider myself an alcoholic.
Why do you think?
Because I know how I drank.
Okay.
Because I'm not a foolish person.
You haven't learned self-control, Chuck?
Well,
this is what I understand.
Hold on.
I experimented, and it didn't work my way.
If you've had a history, I don't like the once an addict, always an addict sort of word choice. But I also don't think that I don't think that if you've obviously gotten this established history having a problem with the substance, you can't really revert back to, you can't backtrack and then start using it recreationally.
Okay,
Correct.
but
That's what I'm saying.
after 20 years of breaking that pattern, Chuck, here's what I've learned. I encourage you to find a new definition for yourself. Okay, maybe this is the problem. You hear I'm an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic, so you think we are just the same, which we are. However, I'm not suffering from you know what? I'm not nearly as bad as you might want to think, Chuck.
But that's you, Jack. That might not be him. Everybody is different. So for him, he knows himself. So maybe he has to, right? But when you're explaining that you're an alcoholic, Chuck, an alcoholic that doesn't drink anymore, then I would know, that, because when you're saying an alcoholic, I don't know if you're like an alcoholic that's still drinking or, a future alcoholic. Or I mean, a former alcoholic.
I should have said it. Yeah, former. I should have prefaced that. That was my bad.
And Chuck, we're all. I mean, like I can't speak for. Yeah, I can't speak for everybody. All right, I was an addict myself. I know Flow State was. I don't know about Jesse. I think I heard him say he used to drink, maybe. And I know Jack
He's
is right.
addicted to pussy.
Okay, well, pussy, whatever. It's better than something else. But what I'm saying is, if you are an addict and you know what the addiction can do to someone's life, you should not play with it lightly when you're talking to somebody that is an addict. That's not nice. That's not good for that addict, because you don't know what's going on in his head, how much stress he has on every day. When you start playing together.
Is that happening?
I feel like sometimes he does that, like Chuck.
Did I do what?
That's what I feel. I could be wrong. I don't know. Again, it goes back to his brain. I'm asking him.
I only caught half of what you said.
What I'm saying, if you're an addict, I'm sorry. If you're an alcoholic, right? And I'm an addict, and say Jack had a problem before anybody, you would know sometimes certain topics or saying certain things about addiction can ignite a thought that could put somebody in that state. I'm not saying it would happen, but it could. Why would you not be more, what's the word here? More nice or whatever the case may be towards that person and not bring it up in a such way?
I only brought it up because he asked me what the commonality or what the issue might be between us. That's the only reason I brought it up.
But you know what I see, Chuck, you do a lot when Jack talks to you a little bit about the alcohol and you mention alcohol to him. I feel from your voice there is a little bit of I wouldn't say animosity, a little bit like not a good vibe. Like maybe not intentionally, I'm not sure.
I'm just passionate about it. I've seen it destroy
about what you
lives.
think, Chuck. Right, you're passionate about what you think, about your opinions. Your opinions of me, your opinions of Tommy, you're passionate about what you think, but I encourage you, perhaps become more passionate about facts.
Now, last night I did state facts, and you got mad.
Are you okay, if you're going to create a defense for some memory you're associating with what I said, number one, I'm not creating a prosecution, no reason for a defense. Okay. I'm explaining. Please, from now on, especially with me, Chuck, I encourage, let's discuss facts more than your conclusions and opinions. Please.
But that less than 24 hours ago, it was facts I was stating.
Fair enough. You believe it was facts.
All you gotta do is go back and
here again, Chuck. Again. Okay, fine. You win.
No,
yesterday
I don't want to win.
Chuck, please. I'm sorry for this interruption. Please forgive me for not receiving the facts from you civilly, respectfully, gratefully yesterday. I'm asking you from now on, may we do a better job of focusing on facts? Because last night I did not, you know what? Maybe I didn't understand clearly last night. So please help me understand more clearly in the future that when you want to make claims against my character and my presentation, please consider that maybe I'm trying hard.
Jack, I think Chuck sometimes, no matter what you say to him, he's gonna have that opinion and that voice and that contempt a little bit towards your habit or anybody. I'm not sure what it is, but I just feel it that he just wants a certain validation from somebody to make him happy.
No, I got an open
I
mind.
agree, Tarek. I do agree. It's the egoic nature that is within Chuck. He wants to show it to me and have me accept it as though it's me. But Chuck, please look at yourself
Go
and
back.
receive whatever is true and discard what is not. But I encourage you to at least consider that you're presenting yourself with some energies of the confrontational spirit for the purpose of bringing forth disagreements. I mean, this is what I was trying to get Tommy to see as well. He's coming forth, bringing these disagreements. And I'm like, okay, is there any way for a resolution? Is there something we can resolve? Or are we just going to spend this time complaining again?
Hey, can I jump in real quick? I got to run to the cigarette store before I go live in about half an hour. But the question I asked earlier, you answered, but I want to hear Tarek's answer before I go. I don't even remember what my question was. Oh yeah, why would Paul deserve for me to just like let him calm down instead of just responding?
No, I didn't say you have to let him calm down. I was just bringing a perspective, an idea. It doesn't have to be Paul. It could be anybody. Now, with Paul, like the way I see it sometimes, it's a trigger situation where you say something, he said something, and you know he's more vocal than you. Like I can tell by the way he is, he's just more vocal. Now, you may take it as an energetic threat to you because you're not as vocal, from my opinion. I'm not like pulling you down. That's just me. So my thought process is, if I was in your situation, I would just, because you're not stupid. This is the thing. You're very calculated, Flo. I've seen that in you, and that's a good thing. And sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. If you're calculated, then I would take a different approach, trying to talk to somebody that has more energetic voice behind them. I'm not saying
He's
to
louder.
let him.
He's louder. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying, yeah, he's just a more emotional person or more vocal about what he says, and he says it with authority. That speaks on his personality as a man. It does not degrade you. You could have a different way of dealing with it, and I think that would be better for both of you. I'm not saying, yeah, let him talk over you, just take the back seat. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying everybody's got different energy, and you got to know when to go in the middle. Like Chuck won't give up. He needs validation from me, I think, from like a Jack. He won't give up until he gets it, I think. Like no matter what Jack says, he's not going to give up until he feels okay somehow in his brain that he got his fix.
I mean, Jack wanted to talk about it. I don't know that, but yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyways,
I just want to respond to that with first Flo. So, Flo didn't get a chance to, deal with him at all because every time Flo tried to talk, he was cut off every time. So then Flo would just listen, wait till his turn was. He would respond. As soon as he started responding, he got cut off. And you handled it very peacefully. You just stayed there. You didn't let that trigger you. But he wasn't able to respond because every single time he got cut off.
Which is the MO, right? That's his MO. That's why he wants everybody on his panel, not anywhere else. At least on TML, like I could talk as well, and he couldn't backstage me.
But I disagree again, and I don't want you to get emotional. Like for example, see, my opinion is just my opinion. Yeah, Tarek, I'm just saying. So, yeah,
Tarek, I encourage you. Mm-hmm. You can have your disagreement, but try to consider what is being said. Okay, because I watched some of that with Flo, and I've been learning and admiring Flo's way of staying grounded, and I've been trying myself. Can I outweight Paul's friggin' tyranny, allow him to calm down and try again? As soon as you try, when he's worked up, there's no getting a word in. And at some point you just gotta cut the line. I mean, at least for that time. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're fine. You're fine. Again, I think Flo like is calm, and he can handle himself with conversation with many people. I don't think it's just Paul. But again, like to you, Jack, it may seem like Paul is being not letting you speak or over talking or being very powerful in his voice. And I'm not saying he's perfect either. If you gotta like sit and break down the conversation from the beginning, you gotta know somewhere in the conversation it got a little bit heated where emotions are elevated. So you take the elevation where you think it did and you calm it down a little bit. Doesn't matter if it's Paul or him. I see Paul very calm at times, and I see him very vocal at times. And I see him sometimes maybe a little triggered, but that's him. He can answer that for you. I can't. I don't know what's in his mind at that time, but from an outside perspective, if I was in that situation talking to anybody, like I was talking to Moose the other day, right? I kind of a little bit, my tone went up a little bit, but then he says, I'm like getting frustrated. I said, dude, I calm myself down right away. You should be able to calm yourself and right away go back to normal. If you're not doing that, then you have no balance in terms of the energy. Like I can be super upset, but at the same time, I can be real calm right away. That's all I'm saying. If you work on that, you'll be able to get to people and talk to people better.
Well, oh, and that's Enneagram talk. Yeah, which type he is, but fuck. Oh yeah, no. I hear what you're saying. I think that you're maybe mistaken the objective or the strategy.
I see the strategy and I see the objective. I promise.
Okay, maybe you're not. Well, then I would disagree that in staying calm with him. Oh yeah, so I'll drop the link one more time before I go. This is going to go live in a little bit, and we're going to be looking at the rapid growth in numbers he's done lately. It's amazing. He's doubled his subscriber count in a week. But his live viewer count is lower than ever. I don't know how he does it, but we're going to review some of the data.
I know, but Flow State, that's strong. I know, but like Flow State, and I don't know if Jack wants to talk about this, but that's a strong assumption to assume that he bought subscribers. Like I wouldn't say that to anybody. That to me comes on that you are a little bit, in a way, not jealous or envy, like not happy for the guy. Like if you got 4,000 subscribers tomorrow and you are feeding your family better and you're eating better and you're doing good, I am so happy for you. So let the ego go. Say he got 10,000 subscribers. Let's not hate on each other. If Jack becomes a millionaire tomorrow,
hey, whoa. It's a bigger or more aggressive jump, I would say, for you to assume that my views are only based on malice than on mathematical facts. There's a hell of a lot of suspicious numbers that you won't see this reflected anywhere else, including his own channel previously. So, yeah, I don't know if you're covering for him or what.
No. I don't know.
Okay, look at the camera and tell me you don't think it's suspicious that he's doubled his subscribers in a week, but has less live stream viewers than before.
But what do you mean? Like today I was on for like 10, 20 minutes, right? And he had 150, 140, 130, 160 live viewers, which is pretty much
at 90 last time I looked.
I seen 140 for almost an hour straight when I was on there. Just
and
looking,
you know what? And we'll go over all this in the live stream because you can see, I've got the data chart. You can see how it drops.
Yes, let's save this because I'm actually curious. I do lean towards, let's not jump to the conclusions. Certainly raise questions, but who knows?
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like I tried to tell Tommy that he didn't hear. I have a lot more loyalty to the truth. Like if I think something's untrue, and continue to promote it, that weakens me. I have more loyalty to me than I do to disliking anybody else. You know what I mean? So
okay, so
I'm not
I got
going
a
to
question
weaken
for you.
myself by holding to something that I think is untrue, which is why I made the video I did on Wizard a while back unpublic. It's not public anymore because there was a reasonable doubt that what I was saying was true. I still think that Wizard is a piece of shit, but I'm not willing to jeopardize myself by pushing something that I believe is false or could definitely be false. So, anyways,
Okay.
you want to get smokes? I'll be on in a bit.
One more
All
thing
right.
I wanted to say, and just kind of like this narrative, because like, how everybody was kind of a little bit on Chuck in Tennessee. I haven't had any negative reactions, interactions with him. Everything that I've seen from him has been respectful, has been different. So different people see different things from different perspectives, depending on the interactions from different eyes. Because everything that I've seen out of Chuck, I've seen him on a whole bunch of different panels, and I've never seen him be disrespectful. I think he's awesome. He's always supporting people. So I'm seeing it in a little bit different way, how Tarek's seeing with Paul in a little bit different way. So people see things a little bit differently depending on what their interactions are. So that's why I just wanted to end that before, because it kind of finishes this conversation.
Sure. And I'm glad you did, and I agree with all of that, which is why I still like Tarek, even though he's definitely culted all the way up. So,
Hey,
all right,
like Steve said, yeah.
Go do
I'll see you
your
later.
thing. Thank you, brother. Peace. I like Flo. I have been learning from him and many others. There's a lot of people with strong, admirable qualities. Okay, how's that?
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot
agree.
of strong people, and there's admirable qualities, and there's other things that the downside to this metaverse, opening up the Zoom calls and everyone joining up, we're publicly showing ourselves, creating evidence of our character. I've said and reacted in ways I'm not real proud of, but can't fucking undo the past now, can we? So it's always forward. And I'm grateful.
I agree, Jack.
It.
I agree.
As long as we're not stuck, thinking that we are just perfect the way we are, as long as we're looking to evolve, most of us are looking to be better, do better, get better, have better interactions, and hopefully this world will be better because of it.
I agree. But here's the thing, Jesse, and I would say that to probably a lot of people, that you may be evolving, and since we're all talking about the truth, the ones that are talking about the truth and proclaiming they are, if somebody else sees it different, they see you maybe a little bit fake, whatever the case, that's their opinion, right? I would say don't let it bother you. And just like we're talking right now, where me, you, Jesse, and Flo, for example, we let each other talk. Tommy, for example, wouldn't let nobody talk. Tommy would have a problem in his life moving forward to be better, and I wish him the best. But people that evolve and get better, they let other people speak, even if they don't agree with them and they don't react emotionally. That's just my point of view on it.
One of the hardest things for people, in this communication thing is actually listening to them, because a lot of people are waiting to speak, instead of actually listening what the person is saying. And I think that's, this communication breakdown for some reason. That's why people are butting heads, because they don't really care what the person is saying. They're just waiting to say their next thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those are the ones that are kind of stuck, because they think that they know it all, and they're in that place that it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. And those are the ones that aren't evolving, while most everybody else is trying to or is evolving.
Nobody knows it all, right, Jack? Nobody does. Every day something can come to you if you're seeking. Say you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Tao. I don't care what your belief is, right? And all these things, every day you're seeking truth, for example, and there's more knowledge to be given to you, or more knowledge to understand or comprehend. So you never really know it all. Never.
Okay, but there's many people who think they do.
I
In
understand.
fact, there's some who call themselves God of many things, right? We each day, what Tarek, what you just said is an absolute truth. We create our freedom from our memories when we start opening our mind to receiving. Stop having a closed mind. Allow yourself to learn. It's human tendency. I've noticed it from myself and I see it clearly in others. We spend so much time arguing, trying to defend what we think. And it's become a pastime. It's actually become a very profitable industry. People fuck the talking heads on news. That's all they are. Fucking idiots who get paid to argue for entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Guys, we're
bring
better than
drama,
that.
to bring drama and to bring conflict, to bring these things. That's the news, that's the media. They want people on their edge. And with what you're saying before, a closed mind is, a closed heart, no matter how much people can convince people that their heart is big and open.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that mind is closed, dude. And the two go together. It seems so scary. And actually, I'm going to bring this back to the topic too. Forgiveness, unforgiveness. It seems so impossible to forgive sometimes, to let go, to stop allowing whatever it was to affect us. It seems impossible until it's done. And then once we push past once we push ourselves past that impossible thinking into the realm of the possible, and we can find the amazing that is there, which is really, if you want to forgive someone, selfishly realize the benefit to doing so. Setting yourself free of the prison from judgment, man, that's going to change this world. I know it is. And I've got incredible hope and faith for the future. And part of it is the wonderful people who do come and join regularly here on the panel, in the chat. I've been learning a lot about humanity and myself growing in this experience. But the secret I've learned, and it's not a secret, it's obvious, what Tarek just said, paraphrasing, learning, opening up the possibility and the realm to learn, to find out you were wrong. To me, I actually, we spend so much time arguing and fighting to prove ourselves right. It's actually a benefit for us to find out how we are wrong. Because once we find out how we're wrong and we make that change so that we are right, we don't have to keep repeating the same mistakes. I was wrong about hating people, about feeling unworthy, unvalued. I was wrong about many of those things. You were going to say something, Jesse?
I read some comments and I lost my thoughts there.
Sorry.
Jack, I want to say something real quick, and then that's like just on what you're saying. For example, Steve and I have been a little bit back and forth, and I called him a bitch or whatever, and he's been calling me all kind of stuff, right? Steve, I don't hate you, bro. I have nothing but love for you. I know I say some shit to you sometimes, and you say some shit back, right? But I truly think that, for example, Steve, just from looking from the outside in, he is a very calm person. He doesn't react right away. And probably, I don't know, he could be a great father, great person besides the broadcast. See, people got to take that. We're on the metaverse. People sometimes act a certain way, but when they go back home, either they're worse or better. So you could be the best person besides that. So I'm not judging you again. I was just saying things that were said, and I'm not saying they're even a good way to say or approach it. But we all fall sometimes in that little emotional space, like Jack would say, or anybody would say, like we get a little triggered. And I don't mean nothing towards you personally. I have no hate, nothing like that, but nothing but love. Just want to clear that up.
I understand.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead, Jesse.
So I guess this would be a good time. What felt you the need, Tarek, to, well, you never had an interaction for you to attack me without me being there. You said some things about
I said
me,
some things.
and I never even had an interaction with you, and you said some pretty terrible things for no reason, and I'm just wondering, where did that come from? Like, where was that a place of hate? Because I don't comprehend how, when we've never even had an interaction with each other, I see, publicly you attacking me.
Okay, that's a fair question. I think I attacked you exactly twice. One time, long time ago, on Paul, when I didn't know you, and the reason why I said, I remember what I said that day. I think I said that to me, he looks like a bitch, right? A little feminine. And the reason why I said that, okay, is because from your voice, and I felt like you were always painting as you were on panel, and I said that this man is here to talk about the truth and stuff like that. He wouldn't be more focusing on the business aspect and being on the broadcast. So this way I felt like it was more calculated to be on the broadcast to actually support your business, and at the same time maybe say something about the broadcast itself. So for me, I didn't know you at the time I said that, right? Now from back then till now, I know a little bit because I see more of you. I still think in some ways you're a little bit feminine, but that's only my opinion. That's not a judgment towards you. That I don't mean it in a hateful way. And if you think otherwise, then maybe you can tell me what do you feel, and I can tell you back what I feel, and we can go from there. I'm not like putting you down. You may see some things in me are bad. Just let me know. I'm not there to put you down.
Jesse, did you want to respond or?
No, I just wanted to know why, I was the brunt of someone's attack that I never had an interaction with. And, I heard some things, and I just thought it would be right now, it'd be a good time to chat about it. So I just wanted to know
Jesse,
where it was coming from.
I appreciate that you did. And Tarek, here's something I'd encourage you to consider.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to have opinions. We sure as hell don't have to share opinions, particularly of strangers, particularly when they're insulting, demeaning, maybe not accurate, because offering our opinions so generously, and here, this is something that other platform, it's like there's no accountability whatsoever for the things that are said. Even when outright lies, even when people react to outright lies. Well, you shouldn't react, especially if it's not true. There should be no reaction whatsoever. And then if you do react and it is true, well, you should be. It's a trigger. It's on you. You should react. Tarek, come on, man. There's a bunch of fucking childhood nonsense. People saying things without thinking there's no consequence. Tarek, my life is a result of my family was destroyed, my reputation was destroyed, my career was destroyed, partially due to me, mostly because of accusations and because of people's fucking opinions, people who weren't involved in my life. Tarek, you have done this apparently to Jesse, and I don't even know what he's referring to specifically, but Tarek, you've said some things, and I think it might be to try and get approval from Paul.
No, I don't
I
think
know
so.
you. Well, please consider it.
I
Please
will.
consider.
I will.
Yeah, I think you will too. I got a lot of care for you, and I don't think you mean any insult or disrespect. I don't think that's your intent. I think you're a pretty nice dude, pretty kind guy.
It's not. And the reason why, to Jesse, just to clarify a little more, right? I've been self-employed for almost 30 years. I probably had like 5 jobs. So I've been pretty much on my own, right? And the reason why, maybe I should take a different approach about it, but the reason why I felt that way when I saw you, for example, painting and doing things and talking to Jack back and forth, I'm like, if I take my job super, then this is just me. If I take my job super seriously, I wouldn't be interacting with a broadcast and painting. Now, again, if you were doing it to promote your business, that's your thing. That's between you and Jack, and that's up to you guys. Just from my perspective, is a little bit not as professional. So I didn't base it all on you being a bad person. So maybe my approach is a little bit different, but I don't mean no harm or no hate in it.
Yeah, but I don't like have a business. Like I just go and help people out. I'm not a part of the system. I do whatever I do to help people. I get whatever. It's, I don't even have a business license. And so I don't have deadlines. I don't have these things that maybe other people have saying, oh yeah, I need to get this done in 3 days or whatever. Right. So I'm helping people out, and, you know, we mutually benefit from it. You know, I'm away from the system. I don't do the tax thing. I just, you know, so what I do with my time and how I do it, I do really, really, you know, I help them out in a way that they really appreciate it. So how I do it, if I, you know, don't do it as fast. And for a long time, I had this, like, because of these injections, the travel injections I took like 13 years ago, I had hip problems. So my performance was slowed down. So when I talk to people, I'd say, hey, this isn't going to be done fast as, other people, but it's probably going to be done way better than anybody you can ever get, right? So when I'm doing my thing, you know, I'm just doing it at my pace. I'm not doing it at a pace where other people are expecting it should be El Rapido, because if that's what they want, then I'm not the right person for them.
No, I agree. And I don't work for anybody like myself either. I'm not on any contract. I don't do any business with no state, with nothing, zero. None.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a reason we're all coming together, joining together, meeting each other. There's a reason for this. Many of us are on similar paths, just different ways. And I've got great hope for the future. Hey, Flo's going to start up in a few minutes. I want to do my final words.
Sure.
Any parting thoughts, guys?
I wanted to say while you were here. So I just wanted to say, so that was something when I heard, I had a little bit of animosity towards you. And when you first started coming around, I was just like, I wasn't sure. But then when we started interacting, I started seeing you more. And then, you know, for me, like, I have no animosity. I think, you know, it is what it is. I don't hold grudges. I don't, you know, we always move forward. And I'm glad we were able to have this conversation. So, you know, that is like, that's nothing I would ever even bring up ever again.
No, thank you, Jesse. Just to say, I know Jack's got to go, but again, just to let people know, no matter how much, like, my opinion, your opinion, like Jack said, opinions sometimes are at fault. They're not good. You should keep them to ourselves. I get that, and that's very true. But if I said something to you that hurt your feelings in any way, or to anybody, that's how men talk about it. You asked me what it is, and I told you exactly face to face exactly what I meant through it. I didn't say, oh, I didn't say it, and I backed up and I lied. No, I said it. So that's the way it's done. Relax, calm, respectfully, and we get to a place where we both know, even if we disagree or agree, he's a great person, and I leave it to me, whatever, and that's it. We go on with our lives.
And this is healthy, and to be able to show people an example of how, you know, something can have. And I seen it was not more coming of a place of you hating on me. I think it was more of a place was the narrative was kind of just this on Jack. And, you know, so it was just easier to join that bandwagon because, you know, and that's where I think that's where it came from. Right. So anyways, it's over and done with. And I'm glad we were able to chat about this, because that was just something that was small on my mind, because it's not a big deal. It was just some words that were said, right? So it wasn't anything that, you know, was high on my, you know, priority. But at first I was just like, yeah, like, I don't know why this guy would be talking shit about me when I never had even an interaction with him, right? So it puts a little bit of a distance, I guess, you know, between people when, you know something like that. And I never heard the bitch part. So
I'm telling you. I said it, yeah.
I never heard that part. So I'm just letting you know, it was more of a respectful diss than when you just said now. But I'm glad, like I said, we were able to just chat about it and move on. And, you know, thanks, Jack, for, you know, being here, facilitating it. And that's what we do, is we, you know, no matter what these, you know, differences are, let's chat about it, let's figure it out, and let's move on so we can all grow together, because they want us to be divided. They want us hating each other. And the ones that are causing this division and hate are working for the wrong side.
Amen, brother.
Thank you. Amen.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you,
Jesse.
Jack.
God bless, brother.
I know, Jack, you gotta go, and I appreciate you having me on. And I'm glad we got to clear some things up a little bit today. And every day is a progress, people. You don't have to, like Jesse said, or even Jack, about hating each other and stuff like that. It's not worth it. I mean, you're just hurting yourself. So I leave it to that. Peace, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Blessings, Tarek. Thank you, brother. Golly geez. What a beautiful stream. I've enjoyed this stream. We ran quite a bit long for what I usually do, a little longer than normal, but brothers and sisters, I did enjoy this stream. We had demonstrations, real life reality broadcasting. We had real life attempts to resolve some disagreements, some successful, some more successful than others. What we're seeing, brothers and sisters, in the topic, trying to set ourselves free of the bond and the burden of judgment, resentment, guilt, those burdens, those toxic, they really are toxic mindsets within us. And there is health to be found. There is peace to be found through overcoming the problems. And relationships, brothers and sisters, they truly are one of the most important things that God can allow us to experience. Relationships can be life-changing, transforming. Different relationships bring different experiences. Different experiences bring different ideas and knowledge. And sometimes these relationships challenge us, allow us to look at ourselves from a different way, which is great, which is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to see ourselves from different ways so that we can adapt, refine, grow, and improve. Communication is the key to relationships. And Jesse, I want to sincerely thank you. A beautiful example of mature discussion of perhaps what could potentially be an uncomfortable discussion, right? So you said these things about me and it was not appropriate, and that could be uncomfortable, but I saw a beautiful dynamic, beautiful examples. Brothers and sisters, all those who joined, thank you sincerely. I do have so much love for you. And yesterday, I hope some of you took my challenge and took some of my faith. I hope you received some of my faith last night, because this morning, admittedly, I had to fill myself up again. But praise God, that faith was restored. And so today, as we're parting again, I am abundant with faith, hope, love, gratitude, and anticipation and excitement for a beautiful future. So please take some of that faith from me with you. Take some of it for you. Until next time, I'll refill myself later. Thank you again, brothers and sisters. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless.